Yeah. We're
Hello,
live.
everyone.
Welcome to another episode of the Mike and Gabby Show. Possibly
Episode number 4.
our coolest Mike and Gabby show yet. Not just because of the cool music, but also because of our super cool guest.
Which is over there, I think.
Our guest is over
Don't
here
know where I
today.
am. Yeah.
No,
okay.
where is he? He's here. Hey,
It's Scrufflesbear. Hi, Scruffles.
Woo!
Scrufflesbear, living the brand.
Like a WWE entrance.
Onesie and all. Yeah, we need to get some music. We need to start
like-
asking people what they want their entrance music to be.
You do like an AJ Styles flick back the hood.
Scruffles, how you doing?
I'm good. I am excited.
Yeah.
I'm nervous and I am live to the Mike
are
and Gabby
live,
show.
I'm a bit
It's
nervous as well,
happening.
actually, today. I feel like the Mike and Gabby show has gone big time now. Like,
You have
seriously.
no reason to be nervous.
Super
Not when
big
I'm
time.
here.
We've made it.
We finally made it. Yeah, our
Been
biggest
approved
guest
for
ever.
television.
Yeah.
Episode 4 haven't been cancelled.
Yeah, we're still
Been
going.
renewed.
We're still going. So say hi to everybody. Hi, Surreal. Hi, Charlie. And Starbury's in as well. Starbury's
Hi, Starbury.
mornings from Ottawa. Hi, Starbury. Welcome in. Yeah, so our guest today is Scruffles. Scruffles going to be playing a bit of Guts and Glory, which we've been shown a little preview of it before we went live by Scruffles, and it looks pretty impressive and spectacular. It looks exactly like the kind of game that the Mike and Gabby show lives for. So I'm very excited to see a little bit more of it.
Very chaotic.
Clay Play and Sooty are in as well. Hi, you two.
Hi.
Sooty was a bear as well.
Sooty was a bear.
Sooty was a bear. So Sooty, you're in good company, and Scruffles,
Yes.
fellow bears in the chat. Zion is in. So Gab, how are you doing today? I haven't said hello to you, Gab. How's it going?
I'm alright. I was just getting my setup sorted, but yeah, I'm good. It's Friday, guys. It's the weekend.
It is. And what better way to start the weekend than
Then with a bit of Mike and Gabby
with a little?
Show.
Well, I was going to say with a bit of Scruffles Bear was what I was going to
With
say.
a bit of Scrufflesbear.
Yeah, I mean we're constantly on. There's no missing us. We're everywhere.
No, that's true.
We are
Yeah, I'm
everywhere
only back from like a week break.
simultaneously. Yeah. So I think we should just get this started, shouldn't we? I think we should just. I really want to see a bit of Guts and Glory, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I think we should just fire straight into it. So let's try the transition. So everybody just hold on, because this is where things tend to go wrong.
This is
Okay.
where the make or break happens.
The it's transition time. Ready? Okay, go. Ah,
I'm on a delay.
yes.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Hooray!
Easy, really easy.
Perfect.
Yeah. Guts
I'm
and
on a
Glory.
delay, so I never know if it's working. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah,
I'm like,
sorry.
my game works. Does the screen work?
The game is working
If it-
just fine.
If it doesn't work, me and Mike have figured out that if we just wave our hands enough, like OBS lets us back in.
Yeah. We just that's right. Just
banging down the
closing
imaginary
everything
door.
down and opening it all back up again tends to work. Yeah, it works, Sooty. Seamless.
Amazing.
Seamless. Martin, hi Martin. Welcome in. So Scruffles, tell us about Guts and Glory to start us off.
Where do you begin with Guts and Glory? Guts and Glory is. I don't really usually do this kind of stuff, but yeah, I'm an incredibly silly person. So I was going to play Borderlands 2, but considering your last conversation with Zion in your last episode, Borderlands didn't really seem like the best of ideas to play, because we don't seem like
Pretty
we're fans
sure
of Borderlands.
I chatted shit about Borderlands.
Yeah,
last episode.
I've never played
All
it.
chat shit.
Yeah. It doesn't look like my kind of game, but to be honest, I would have been quite interested in seeing somebody who enjoys it have a go at it.
Yeah.
But
I
I
don't not
didn't
enjoy it,
like-
to be fair. I don't not enjoy it. I just get bored because it's the same thing over and over
Yeah.
again.
it's not.
See, it's best.
my defense.
It's best with like co-op play, or if you're playing with friends online, stuff like that. It's not really a single player game. It doesn't kind of work that way.
Yeah.
But I kind of thought I wanted to do something fun. I wanted to do something that's a little bit more Scruffles than Borderlands. And Guts and Glory is definitely something that's insanely Scruffles.
Careful
Yeah.
now.
So
After what we witnessed like 5 minutes ago.
yeah. So
So
give us-
Guts and Glory
yeah.
essentially is It's a very basic concept. You choose a character, you choose your challenge, you choose a character, you have to get from point A to point B. Seems pretty simple. The only difference between anything that is actually going from point A to point B is all the stuff that's in between can basically decapitate you, mutilate you, break bones, and murder you in any possible way that I can think of. There are spinning wheels of death. There are people who shoot arrows. There are explosions. There's crazy jumps you can do tricks and stuff on. There's hooks you can get impaled on. There's all manner of stuff. Guts and glory essentially boils down to the guts you will end up spilling while hunting for glory.
Got it.
That's essentially where it comes from.
So everyone go follow Scruffles. There's his brand.
Yeah,
Yes.
Obviously, it goes without
That's
saying
me.
that you should be following Scruffles on Twitch and Twitter if you're not already. But the links are in the chat. So what Scruffles showed us in the preview before we came online was a nice simple drive through a park, which seemed very Pleasant Park. It's called. It seemed very chill in theory, but I remember the car that you were driving ended up on its roof within moments.
It did.
Within moments.
It did.
Yeah.
But we'll show the lovely people.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's give a little
happen.
example.
There's these are just the 8 in the first page because there
more.
are more people. There are more which are unlocked later on, as far as I remember, because I haven't played it on this theme before. But anyway, so we essentially will go with Junior because Junior looks ridiculous and he's on a hoverboard.
Oh, he's on a hoverboard.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And
Very
these
cool.
are the kind of physics that we're working with. So this is just the basic concept. Just go through a thing. He's kind of a little bit
His
crazy.
arms just all over the shop.
This would be me on a hoverboard. To be
Nice.
honest.
And then you get the point B. Simple.
Oh, so that's it. So you did literally just have
that's
to
the
get to
level.
one checkpoint.
Yeah, that's on the first level.
I see. Because for everybody that didn't see it before, which is nobody except Gav and I, last time Scruffles didn't make it to that first checkpoint. Ended up on the roof of the building that the checkpoint was inside. So that's Guts and Glory. So it's racing through scenery, trying to get through checkpoints, but there's loads of things that can just take you out along the way.
Yep.
Sometimes quite gruesome ends, depending on what gets in the way.
Sadly, apparently, I only have the control of one character.
So this is a very responsible father and his son on this.
And his son, as he just goes for a casual little jaunt.
Oh, this looks lovely.
Very simple. Yeah, it's very nice, very idyllic, very pretty, lovely scenery.
Yeah.
Lovely handling of the bike, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, there's no.
Look at the kid's legs.
The kid's just flailing. Is he alive? Maybe he's been knocked unconscious. Just the little floppy legs.
And you can do lovely tricks. You can pull wheelies.
Oh, can you?
You can fall over.
You can crash into boxes.
There you go. There's your wheelies. You can do a stoppie, as far as I remember from my Matt Hoffman BMX days.
Imagine anyone whose significant other took their kid out on the bike and just started doing wheelies around the park. I go mental if Mr. Gabby did that.
Someone is shooting arrows at you. Why is that?
These are the guts that they've discussed.
What's their issue? Can you go and challenge them? Can you go and run them down?
I think they just really hate families. They just really hate single parent families, if I'm not mistaken. Which I most likely am, because I just made that up.
Well, that was a lovely little ride round the park, and they said it
couldn't be done.
Very nice. Right, well, Scruffles, in that case, you keep playing this, and while you're doing so, give a potted history of Scrufflesbear from birth to now. Sum up your entire life in about 5 minutes, if you can.
About 5 minutes.
Break it down.
It was a warm summer's evening. No, it wasn't. I was born in November, so it would have been very interesting if that was a warm summer's evening. But I was born of an evening in 1991, so I have seen many things come and go. I have seen generations past. I have seen generations future, etc. 5 minutes, you said.
Whoops.
Oh yeah, there's landmines.
Oh yeah, there's landmines.
Someone clip that for us, please.
By the way.
Oops. That's pretty much every clip on my channel as well. But yeah,
Oh my goodness. Sorry. Okay.
I was born in Dublin. Avoid the hook. That's a very bad hook, that is. Whoa, dibbles. Yeah, and when I was 10, I moved from Dublin. Hot diggity, I did it. I moved from Dublin down to Wexford. So went from being a rural city Dublin boy to a farming Wexford man, which was very, very strange. I was always kind of on the outside of my family in a very weird kind of situation because they were all construction workers and they worked doing manual, big, scary man jobs, and they had gigantic shoulders that they lifted pallets and wood and coal and all kinds of stuff on. Yeah, pretty much, which is where this comes from. The genetics has worked out for me. But I've always been a creative. I've always been in front of a screen as opposed to lugging heavy stuff all around the place. Ooh, get out of the way, people. Oh, casual. Lovely. Yeah, so landmine. This is a lot more tense than I thought.
There's a lot to think about.
Oh! Quick restart there. Apologies.
Oh my goodness. Didn't even see the blade because of the shadows.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's so good.
This is hectic. Who's throwing these circular saws down the stairs?
I don't know.
What maniac?
Yeah, but essentially I was good in school, kind of more of an intellectual than a physical behemoth that some of my family are. But because of that, I kind of never really knew what I wanted to do because I never had anyone who was able to direct me in a way. So I was always kind of left directing myself. And considering I was in Wexford, there wasn't much going on, really.
Is that a small town?
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
No, it's the southeast county in Ireland.
Oh.
Way backflips. Well, that didn't work.
Way backflip.
It's like going from London straight into the West Country, to be honest.
Okay, all right, it's quite different.
And it was tough, and I kind of failed out school, and then had to redo school for like the final year of school again. And everything that I was always told was I'm lazy, but I'm capable. Which, I
got
think
told exactly the same thing in school.
Yeah.
She does no more or no less than is required of her. That's what my teachers used to say.
That's word for word on some of my report cards is that. Absolutely. Anything I ask him to do, he does, but we'll never go any further.
And do you think that's true? Or
yeah.
Oh, okay. They were. You weren't being misjudged or misrepresented.
No, I wasn't. But I was being misunderstood because the reason that I didn't want to do it was not because I couldn't do it. It was because I had no interest in doing it.
Right. Sure.
And because I had no interest, then what was the point?
Of course.
It was I was just one of them kids. Oh, there's the sun. Lovely.
Like kids.
But like, if I have something that I'm interested in, like streaming, for instance, then this is going to be tricky. Oh, that didn't work. So what you gotta do is you gotta not do that. Sorry, child.
This is brutal. This is
Look,
so brutal.
Child died, but I survived.
You made it though.
That's a
You
win.
made it though.
That's a win.
One much less responsibility and a win. So
Just gonna throw this out there right now. This episode is not PG.
It's
if
not
you're
PG.
under the age of
it's not.
40,
Please.
don't watch.
Yeah, 18 plus.
Look at Earl. Earl looks better. Oh, we can eject. Lovely.
So yeah, I think my brother was very similar at school as well, which is that, like a lot of people, school didn't cater for what he actually was interested in.
Yeah. That's essentially the issue. And
so,
everything that I wanted to do was computer based, but because the majority of our schools were like, well, all you're going to do is work on a farm for the rest of your life. They didn't really understand what a computer was. So it was very, very interesting. So I went off to college to try and do God knows what's happening here. What is happening?
It looks like you can burn your
here we go.
enemies.
There we go.
Oh, overshot.
Reverse.
I'm so glad you chose this game. It's so good. Yes? Oh, nice.
Simple.
Oh, well
Nice.
done.
Easy landings. But yeah, I essentially went from not knowing what I was doing to doing something that I didn't want to do just because I knew I wanted to get into computers. So I ended up doing software development for like 3 or 4 months when I was like 19, 20. And as any 19, 20-year-old who's shown tables and tables of code and being told to find the exclamation point that shouldn't be in the code, I just went, no, that's not for me.
Right.
So I'm going to party and have a wild life and do something that I can absolutely... Oh, this looks like hell already. That I can look back and say I lived my life as a child. That ended up with me failing out of college, naturally. And so for about 3 or 4 years, I didn't really do anything except play video games and drink, to be fair. And then I realized, well, I always knew that I wanted to get into the media, but I didn't know how. So, whoops. So I it's
so hard because you're like talking about a really serious moment, and
it undercuts every bit of seriousness. It's insane. But yeah, I knew that I wanted to get into the media, but I didn't know how. So I went and did a course in just media studies, just basic old media studies. And I had to leave after like 4 or 5 months because I wasn't getting paid and I wasn't able to stay where I was staying. And the worst thing that happened to me was I knew that that's what I wanted to do. So because I knew that that's what I wanted to do, I knew that I had to get back to it. But it was going to take like 2 years until I could get back to it. So I just spent my entire time reading up on just about everything I possibly could and all manner of... let's go high. All manner of theories and theorists and all that kind of stuff. As Mike, you wouldn't know, media is. Whoa, headshot!
Wow.
Lovely. I got an achievement for it, so that's something.
That was impressive. Archery.
That was a great shot. So that kind of stuff went in a hell of a lot more than anything in school ever went in. So I was like, I'm on the right track here. This is definitely what I have to be doing. So because that happened, I was like, this is it. This is what's happening. So I went and I did a course and I finished the course, and now I'm in my final year of a 4-year course, and I have directed short films, I have written short films, I have done
the back of his head.
Out of the air.
Did you get an arrow in the head after you'd come off the bike there?
Yeah.
I missed it.
Ridiculous. All right, maybe stay with the path. Maybe that's what's making me do. But yeah, I've done all manner of stuff. I've acted in stuff. I've taken a leaf out of Mike's book and become a little bit of a voice actor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Something's bleeding there. Yeah, I'm in a couple of games that I've been in, just a couple of game jam games, which are kind of interesting and very fun to do. As I'm powering through this, okay?
You seems
Whatever
fine.
you're
You seems fine.
I'm powering through this.
Seems fine. You can still pedal. Is all the only thing that's
It's an arrow to the knee. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's totally fine. Yeah, so I don't know if Gabby's ever going to be allowed to get a question out. She's laughing.
I'm listening.
As long as you're listening, that's the main thing.
Oh, God, this game's ridiculous.
I'll put a link for this game in the Discord. After
yeah,
that,
you
so
must
can
do.
get...
I think we all need a link to this game. Clayplay asked in the chat while you were talking what language, what coding language you were learning when you were looking for the exclamation marks.
Oh, we started out. It was basic software development, so we went from JavaScript to C++ to then we were using Python, and the whole idea was we were going to make our own app. Jesus.
Oh my god, it's bowling balls. Someone's built a bowling ball launcher.
How are none of you laughing at the fact that that fence was just wrapped around your child?
I was I'm trying to be
You're such a
professional.
straight face.
I'm trying to hold it together. Oh, jeez. It's getting. I wouldn't want to live on this street, to be honest with you. It looks so picturesque, and then somebody's just put bowling ball cannons on the roof of the school. It's a little bit hectic.
But as I was saying,
Sorry, yeah. What code do you learn? Speak.
I was
Program.
learning. We learned binary first, and we learned to do stuff in binary first, and then we went to JavaScript, and then we were in C++, and I was about halfway through C++ when I was like, yeah, I don't want to go here anymore. So I just kind of stopped going to class. And so, like, they failed me for some reason. I don't know why. I just never went to class. They just decided that was apparently not cool enough for me to continue on in that college. So, oh no!
Oh, Jesus!
At least the kid's all right.
Yeah,
The kid's
okay.
fine. The
it
kid
again.
will live
We'll
on.
catch up with him later.
Man. So thank everybody that's come into the chat. Thank you for popping in.
Yes.
This is getting pretty hectic now, Scruffles.
Oh, it is.
I like how he's just taking arrows to the body and just not even feeling it because
It's the headshots that do it.
yeah. I guess when you've
Yeah,
got arrows being fired at you and landmines on the ground and bombs in the sky, your kid can take an arrow in the leg. Go on.
Oh.
Oh God!
Oh yeah! Get up! We made it!
Use the kid for leverage.
Woohoo!
Amazing.
Yeah,
So
the coding thing.
Go on. Sorry.
No, that was pretty much it. I kind of found an awful lot more fun playing video games than I ever did anything else. And then that's when I've always been a writer. That's what I've always done. Like I write for websites, I write blog stuff. I'm writing a book for my final year project for college. Like I've always been a writer. I've always been into stories, which is why I wanted to get into the media. I watched I think it was Martin Scorsese's masterclass a while ago on directing. Oh shit! Well, okay, too fast. And he was essentially saying, if you want to be a director, then you're never going to be a director.
Yeah.
What
I
you
got told
want to
that
do,
at film
yeah.
school.
That's what they were saying. What you want to do is to be able to tell stories, and if you want to tell stories, then you can be a director. Oh, we can't go backwards. Whoops.
Oh,
Ooh.
did he?
Tell you what, pretty good at reversing.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Oh,
Worse.
not
Oh,
bad.
really?
Oh, Scruffles.
All right, the
Don't
kid's
worry.
gone.
Don't worry. He was holding you
Fine,
back.
we can do it. We got it. Get up. Oh no!
Straight
would've been
into the
devastating.
flag. Never mind.
Not hitting that.
Oh, geez.
Not hitting that. Yeah, but I always thought that was kind of where I wanted to go and what I wanted to be. I never wanted to be a director. I never wanted to be an actor. I never wanted to be a writer. I wanted to tell stories that people could relate to, stories that people couldn't relate to, but could still find a bit of an interest in. You know? Oh, I can give my hat. Hey!
That might protect you.
Ah, nice. So a question has come up in the chat that is a little bit sort of, I guess it's related because we're getting into your streaming life now. It's a question it's a question that I have on my list, and it is simply, why Scrufflesbear?
Why Scrufflesbear?
Are you an actual bear? We want the scoop.
The scoop. Want the hot goss that no one else knows.
What kind of definition of bear are we talking about here?
In every single possible
every
sense
single
of the term.
sense. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I prefer cold weather.
Oh!
Respawn. Quick respawn there.
The helmet does nothing.
No! The helmet is not good. It's not enough. Okay, we gotta go fast. We gotta Sonic the shit out of this.
Yeah.
Oh! He's gone.
What a precision shot!
Hopefully I have a never-ending supply of children.
Never-ending supply of children.
So you prefer cold weather?
I prefer cold weather because I am a heavy-set bearded man with a boyfriend. I am also that kind of bear.
Double bear.
Oof. So double bear for that. I usually sleep an awful lot, so I hibernate generally every night. So that'll be 3 ways. 4 is I usually prefer to be on all 4s than on 2, which, you know, that's your own business if you take it that way.
Definitely 18 plus.
What? No, I mean, like, I prefer to be like on my knees. What are you taking out of it? There's no need for that. I don't understand why I don't know what you're laughing at. Okay, that's entirely your business.
Kenneth Williams' face is in the chat.
Oh no!
And why?
Well, yeah,
and Scruffles? And why Scruffles?
Scruffles has always been because I am a scruffy man. I have always been ever since the testosterone and puberty hit. I have had facial hair, and I've always been a scruffy person. And there's an old rhyme that my parents used. Oh, took it on
How
the
did
head.
you not
How?
die to that? Just took a mine to the face.
Oh.
Well, my parents used to always, because when I grew out my hair because I was a child, and I thought it would be a good idea, and I used to have hair down to like here. It didn't look good, but I still had it, so it's still a thing. Get there. No, whoops. But yeah, my parents used to always kind of like rustle up my hair every time it got like really puffy, because I get like really, really curly hair when it grows out. It doesn't exactly grow down, it grows out, so I had to straighten my hair like a lot. And I have no issues talking about that now, you know, because it's my trauma, and I'll
Your
do
cross
what I
the
want
bear.
with it.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And the pictures are still out there somewhere of me with that incredibly
Oh, we should have got
terrible hair.
some.
Yeah, we don't have any pictures. So it's a kind of more scruffy bear than Scruffles bear.
Yeah, it came Scruffy Bear, and then when I was looking at... Oh, that's precise.
That is. Oh, I thought you were going to make it.
When I started with Scruffy Bear, it didn't exactly work, because I was told that it's against TOS for some things. That's the wrong direction.
Really?
Because of the Scruff app, which is a gay dating app, much like Grindr. So apparently that was a bit
Why
of a
is
thing.
that against terms of service?
I have no idea. Apparently it's promoting homosexuality or something. I don't know. It's,
God forbid.
What a crime.
like, I had a massive argument with someone about it before.
What a hellish crime.
Didn't know what could happen. Interesting.
So I wonder if that would be the
then I
same
went
if
from-
someone had like Tinder in their name.
It's possible. It depends on... Forgot that had to come around.
This is great.
Well, yeah, I don't know whether they thought I was like advertising it or something, but when that happened, it was Scruffy Bear, and then Scruffy Bear didn't work, and I just went, Scruffles is kind of the same thing.
Oh, so Scruffles is a new, like a not going to be pedaling as efficiently now. One leg.
No, Scruffles has been my name on just about everything online. I've been Mr. Scruffles Bear, I think, since like 2011.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And when I signed up for Twitch, I signed up through the PlayStation. And when I signed up through the PlayStation, it was Scruffles Bear. But there was an underscore. There was an underscore in between Scruffles and Bear. But then I just changed it because I was like, no one else is gonna take that name.
Gab knows all about the underscore.
Yeah.
You need to just get the Artful Gabby, Gab.
It haunts me.
I think somebody said it was available recently.
Yeah, it wasn't available when I made my Twitch, but apparently it's available now, and I just
it.
keep forgetting to do it. But yeah.
Yeah, you should.
Well, this is a reminder to you, Gabby, to go and get it done.
I know the underscore and how it's not the one.
It's not.
Or when you look back on this video in about 6 months and you still haven't got the underscore, just remember.
As we said
Remember we
before,
talked about it.
I will do nothing more or nothing less than what's required of me. So probably never gonna lose the underscore.
So I have so many questions for you, Scruffles, not only based on what you just said, but on other things as well that Gab and I were talking about before. We'll deal with one in the chat, actually, that we've got two in the chat, one from Charlie and one from Steve, CMT'd. Charlie says, if you could be any fictional bear, which bear would you be?
Ooh.
Tough one, because a lot of really good bears. I know my answer.
I know my answer.
Yeah.
Is one of your answers the bear from Revenant that kills Leonardo DiCaprio?
No.
Mine was going to be Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, okay.
Winnie the Pooh.
Just wear a t-shirt and eat food and sleep. Sounds like me.
That's a very good idea.
Mine is Super Ted.
Super Ted. Super Ted is always a good show.
100%, because you can also be a bear, but when you need to, you can also be a superhero.
See, it's a tie really between Rupert the Bear, which is an old cartoon from when I was but a chap, and Bear from Bear in the Big Blue House, mainly because I'm really jealous of his singing talent. Because I didn't know Bear could sing like that. Oh, meat grinder. This sounds like
Bear in the Big Blue House. I used to love that as a kid.
That's so good. I honestly
with the little
want
moon.
to steal. Yeah, I want to steal the goodbye song for the end of my stream, but apparently, copyright and stuff.
Copyright.
So, chat, you also have to tell us what bear you would be, and at the end, we'll get Scruffles to...
I'll rate your bears.
We'll get Scruffles to rate your answers.
Yeah.
So we've already got Sooty. Sooty's voice is already presumably Sooty in the chat, but and also you can duplicate answers. So Paddington has come up. Funyun says Paddington would fuck Pooh Bear up. I mean, I don't think Winnie the Pooh. The thing is, I don't think Winnie the Pooh is in the business of fucking people up, but he does have a lot of friends.
No.
At least one of his friends. I reckon Tigger. If you got Tigger on a bad day, he would have you on Pooh's behalf.
Yeah.
You know,
Mike, I think you're my Tigger. You're the Tigger to my Pooh.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
I said I was Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, the villainy gone with Bungle. That's a big shout, actually. Bungle.
Bungle, all caps
from
as
Rainbow.
well.
That is a caps lock Bungle. That is a big shout. That is a big one.
See how Yang family get on.
Raising.
I think that was because I said you're the Piglet to my Pooh.
Piglet. I thought it was Tigger. What? I've been downgraded. Who's better? I think I'll take Tigger, thanks. Jesus.
Piglet's got great advice, though. Anyway,
true, yeah.
Totally off topic.
Usually when you look for it, because, when I tried to go with the whole bear thing beforehand, before I realized you can make your own stuff or ask artists to do stuff for you, usually when you look for cartoon bears, it's like Brother Bear and all kinds of stuff. Like, they just suck. They're just terrible.
Mike, Scum has gone with Yogi Bear, which is another huge shout.
Yogi Bear is good.
If anyone says Boo Boo, I think you're disqualified. I'm pretty sure.
Look at what Funyun said. Next you'll be EL.
Yeah. Baloo's another good one. We're just naming bears now. We're just sort of naming bears.
I'm gonna slowly drive us back to the interview because otherwise we're always here for 3 hours. Yeah, and I think this is why.
Yeah. Go on then, Gab.
Right, so I want to ask you about your book stuff later, but I think we're on Twitch stuff now, so we might as well get all our Twitch questions out the way. Not out the way, but find out about them. So what made you start stream? When did you start streaming, and what made you start streaming?
I started streaming 5 months ago.
Wow, really recent.
Yeah, I started streaming. Where are we talking? We're talking June, July. I started streaming. I streamed a couple of things on Twitch, and it was just like from the PlayStation, just straight from the PlayStation to Twitch, and it wasn't good. It just wasn't. And I have 2 close friends of mine and my boyfriend who were streaming at the time, and they were on Mixer, which is just such an age away now.
Yeah.
And I went on the Mixer for a little while. And I was on Mixer, and I played enough on Mixer and streamed enough on Mixer that I went through about 3 or 4 games that were like Jedi: The Fallen Order and all kinds of stuff. So not exactly small games. And then as the channel started to pick up and I just started to get hosted and shout outs from all kinds of people, Mixer went, yeah, we're just not going to be living anymore. We're just going to die and all your channels are going to go. But you can go to Facebook if you want. And I was like, oh, no. Okay. So I'll just go back to Twitch. And I started playing games on Twitch, and I was kind of in a mind of going, I'm going to be like a competitive streamer. I'm going to play competitive games, and I'm going to do like Apex and Call of Duty and all that kind of stuff. And then I just remembered how fucking boring that is to play a game for like 6 or 7 hours when it's the same thing over and over again. And And like at the end of the day, the definition of insanity, wins out.
That's right.
If I play 500 games of Fortnite or whatever and I win 10 of them, well then there's 490 things that I didn't win.
Yeah.
So what was the point in it really? And you wouldn't be able to focus on the chat. You wouldn't be able to build yourself a community. You wouldn't be able to do anything because you're so focused on, I need to build this thing here, whatever. So I just kind of went, you know what, I'm going to play games that I enjoy. And I played a game called The Curse of Monkey Island, which kind of changed my life then, which I spoke about yesterday.
Big favorite of mine, yeah.
Child has no arms now.
And you've only got one leg. The pedaling is miraculous.
Oh, I do. That's beautiful.
You've got real strength in that.
Real left leg strength, thankfully.
Hell,
Yeah, I think Funyuns has just started playing one of the Monkey Islands.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it was the Monkey Island games. It was Monkey Island and Civilization were the games, and Transport Tycoon were the games that got me into gaming when I was a kid.
I was into Black and White. Have you ever played Black and White?
Oh yeah, I love that game, and the games like it as well, because there was a predecessor to Black and White, wasn't there?
There was.
I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head now. Somebody in the chat.
All I ever think of is Black and White 2.
Oh! He was on his last leg anyway, wasn't he?
He was. Black and White 2 used to be so great because as you were like a god, you got like your own special creature that you could like move around the world and everything, and it was just so fun. And I went from that to Command and Conquer and Age of Empires and the original Fallout games, and then friends of mine got PlayStation 2s and PlayStation 3s and started to play platformers and 3D adventure games and stuff like that. And excuse me, the more they started playing the likes of Call of Duty and FIFA and stuff, I kind of moved away from it. Now I still have my love of football and my love of FIFA, but like you can still find them playing hours and hours of Warzone every night while I'm playing things like this. So it kind of changed my understanding of games, because their understanding of games was we have to play a game, we have to win.
Right.
Yeah.
And that gets very tiresome very quickly.
I think if you put a lot of stock into winning, and then you don't do it, it becomes extremely exhausting, I find.
Yeah. Massively.
So I agree. I totally agree with you.
So from playing Monkey Island, Villainy, that asshole in the chat over there,
at scum_and_villainy, double underscores in the chat.
We can get a shout out.
Big shout out for Scum and Villainy. Hi to the Artful Mum as well. Hi Jill.
Oh, my mother's in.
The Artful Mum is in. Right, no more of your slaughtering, Scruffles.
No, okay. I'll be very, very nice.
The Artful Mum is in.
She's seen me play a lot of games. You're all right.
Okay. I will be Larry. Larry's the most fun. So yeah, from that. Anyway, continue on. Nope, never mind. See you later. Yeah,
look at him fly.
Just exploded as he hit the ground.
I keep forgetting that these people's blood is also full of TNT. Because there's no other reason why you would explain destroying yourself like that. So from playing Curse of Monkey Island, which I will actually get to the end of this sentence eventually.
Yeah.
Villainy kind of went and took me under her wing in a very strange way, because I wasn't expecting it at all, and I can't move this thing. God, this is difficult. Why did I pick Larry? And from that, we joined a lovely little group on Twitch, which is called the Titans of Twitch, which is where I found the two of you people.
Yeah, that's right.
Which, for one reason or another, didn't exactly work out for me. And from that, I owe an awful lot to the Titans of Twitch because of the people that I met through them. And that's one of the biggest things that I could tell anyone about streaming is it's all about the networking.
Yeah, community is so important. It's true.
But it's all about being who you are. And there was things going on that I wasn't... this is not going well. There we go.
You might have chosen the wrong guy for this particular level.
Yeah, a little bit. Apologies for that. But yeah, there was things going on that I kind of wanted to move my channel away from, and I kind of wasn't too happy about the way that I was conducting myself, and I turned into a bit of an asshole. And I just had to kind of step away from that kind of stuff to get back and being the lovely, bearded, wholesome person that I am. And because there was a few instances off stream that I was told by people that I was acting different and I was just being a different kind of person, and I kind of had to look at myself and went, wow, I really am. So I need to change that because I can't be defined by my stream in that kind of way, you know?
Yeah.
So I kind of just cut ties with a lot of people and kind of just started again with a smaller group of people who were the people who I already kind of had on my channel. And then as that went on, I need to change character. That's not working. That's not working
Yeah,
at
this
all.
character seems like it would be the easiest to get around, but really it doesn't look easy at all.
Total disaster. Yeah.
One way to go out. Yeah, but I'll just leave it there. He'll sort himself out.
He'll be fine.
But yeah, from
This
that,
seems
I
fine.
kind of... There we go. Lovely.
Is that a heart
The
on the
menu.
floor?
So correct me if I'm wrong, Scruffles. I think from what I was watching one of your VODs the other night, and I think you said that you were actually thinking of chucking streaming in altogether.
I was.
when you met Villainy.
I was.
Not because you met.
No.
Yeah,
No.
When
When
you chuck it in when you met Villainy.
I mean, no. I mean, when you met Villainy was around the same time as you were thinking of stopping streaming. Is what?
Yeah, it was. Because I was playing Curse of Monkey Island, and I said to my boyfriend that was it. I said, once I finish this game, I said, that's going to be it. That's the whole end. That's going to be the end. I can't do it anymore. There's no one coming in. There's no one having any interest. I've done all I possibly can, tried to join groups, tried to jump into other people's chats. I was a viewer for about 2 or 3 months on a whole lot of people's chats, and like the people who came over from Mixer were like, oh yeah, we'll support you on Twitch, and then no one appeared. So it was just one of them things. So I was like, you know what, it's causing me so much more hardship than it's actually worth. So I'm just gonna give it up after this. And then she came in and said lovely things, and then there was more lovely things said, and then lovely things happened in the group, and then I left the group, and then lovely things continued to happen. So I kind of went, okay, maybe I can actually do this.
Yeah.
So I read up on a couple of books, I watched a whole load more streams, I started to see what worked for other people, I started to see what didn't work for other people, and then I kind of went, you know what, I'm just going to be me, and I'm going to play games I enjoy, whatever happens. And if people see me enjoying it, well then maybe they'll enjoy it themselves. Right. And that was the whole thought process. And now I'm playing games like this, which I never would have played from when I started out.
Yep.
And I'm currently a guest on your show, and all these people are sending in all these messages while they're watching me do this.
Yeah, playing games that you really enjoy is the advice that I hear the most from other streamers. Yeah, for sure. And it's really, really important. So it's good. I'm glad that you came to that conclusion, because I see a lot of people when I'm I click around on people's channels that I don't know all the time, and a lot of people, you can see that they're kind of playing games that they think they should be playing, rather than ones that they really want to play. And
like as Zion was playing the last one, I think he said that he was going to start playing Fortnite, if I'm not mistaken. And like that's the majority of, I think he was saying about the majority of people who play. Yeah, the people who play Fortnite, you're sitting on like 1 or 2 viewers down about 1,000 channels. Yeah. You're never going to be seen. No. Like the whole point of being on Twitch is so you can be seen. Otherwise, I'd just be playing this offline. Yeah. You know? So if you want to be seen by people, you need to do the things that are going to be seen. And no one wants to see you not be good at a game. Right, yeah. True.
Well,
you know?
I don't know about that. I think I've built my entire channel on being bad at games.
Yeah, with
games
if you're
going to be bad at a game, don't be bad at a game that someone else is going to be really, really good at.
Yeah, a lot of people are really good at things like Call of Duty and Fortnite and Overwatch and stuff. You probably aren't going to make a streaming career out of being crap at those.
Yeah, that's what
Whereas
I mean.
you can be crap at GTA. and it's funny.
But I think it depends. Different things work for different people, and I think you need to experiment, don't you? That's true
the
main
too.
thing. Some games you enjoy, but they just don't work for stream.
Oops,
I've had games that I play. Like I enjoy playing Overwatch. Doesn't really work for streaming.
Yeah.
But I think it takes a while to know what's working.
Yeah, definitely.
And like that entire while was up for me before I started playing Monkey Island. I went, well, look, I'm playing brand new games, I'm playing the AAA new releases, and no one's interested, no one's coming in, no one's doing anything. And I thought that was it. That was what streaming was.
Yeah.
And because it wasn't working out, well, then there was no point in me continuing on. But then from the conversations with Villainy, I kind of realized that streaming isn't about seeing as many people as you possibly can, and I had to rethink everything. And now the lovely little community that I have, honestly, oh Jesus, sorry.
Oh, what a shot!
Dirty slow
Precision bowling ball to the head.
But yeah, I wouldn't change the people who I have in my community now, because they're there for the right reasons. You know?
Yes.
Like, I've seen people come and go to be like, oh yeah, no, you need to come over and see my channel. Like, straight into your chat, and you're like, well, why?
Right.
Like, that's the first message you've ever sent me.
Yeah.
Like, I was in a friend of mine stream the other night, and they were playing Apex Legends, and 3 people jumped into the chat, be like, oh, can I play with you?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, what are you talking about? That's not what we're meant to be doing here. If you're looking for friends or whatever, have a conversation and talk and try and get to know someone. Yeah. Instead of, well, we both play the same thing, so we must be the same kind of person.
Yeah, you should want to play with me. It's the expectation that you'll say yes. Gab and I got a lot of that when we were playing Ark. People dropping in.
A lot.
Dropping in and being like, "Can I join?" Like, who are you? We literally don't even know who you are.
And like, people would try and work out where we were on the map,
so
they could come and raid our base or whatever, and we'd be like, "Well, we're on a private server. That's why we're just running around in our underwear with spears." Because
while playing the game at the same time, I should point out.
Oh yeah, of course.
Obviously.
Playing Ark, It's
not gonna work. Well, like, that's the thing. If you're gonna be going into someone's chat to be like, "Look, I want to mess up your game."
Yeah. Or like, I want to be the focus of your stream. Let me come in. I want a bit of exposure.
Yeah.
I need some attention. Give me some attention.
Yeah, I see you have 6 people who are watching you. Well, they should watch me instead.
Yeah, right.
Start streaming then. Don't be jumping onto my stream.
Right.
Okay, just go straight over it. That works too.
Oh.
So, Gab, have you got any? I've been talking a lot. Have you got further questions? I have some, but I don't want to talk over you.
Yeah, well, I have some about your book, but do you have any about Twitch first, Mike? I try and keep it topic to topic, but if not, we'll move on from Twitch.
Steve asked a question earlier about games. Hang on, let me just quickly try and find it in the chat. I think it was Steve.
It's amazing how quickly the time goes.
It really is, yeah. Well, I think maybe at on the hour, so in about 10 minutes, we'll do the crisp.
Crisp Wars, yeah.
So Steve asked what inspires Scruffle's game choices when he streams. I think you've probably kind of covered that question. I guess, but
pretty much. If you look at a game and within the first 10 seconds you have a smile on your face, then that game is worth it.
Yeah, I think that's a great way of looking at it.
And that's how I feel about just about all media, and that's why I wanted to get into media and be able to showcase indie games and indie developers and stuff, because anyone can look at Assassin's Creed Valhalla and go, oh yeah, that's going to be good, or anyone can go, oh yeah, that's going to be bad. But if you look at a game that no one knows anything about,
right,
you're not there to, like, you're there to have fun. Like, so as much as Earl is getting absolutely annihilated here, I'm still having fun.
Yeah, well, that's
I'm having fun watching you.
Yeah, it's very fun to
so
watch you
drawn into a game.
Slowly reversing away from getting your head cut off. It's very good.
Like, if I was playing something like Assassin's Creed Valhalla while we're trying to have a conversation, some people might be interested in it, but like, there's too much focus on it. AAA games are designed for you sitting down in front of a screen and playing the game.
Yeah,
it's not designed for streaming.
No, they're like movies, aren't
wow.
I mean, it's like watching a movie. Oh, that is specific.
But like I've never understood why people are going, oh well, that game's really, really bad. Well, yeah, it's bad for you, but it's not bad for everybody.
Right, exactly.
Or else what's the point?
Yeah,
like, there's no movie or TV show out there that everybody absolutely hates.
Yeah, I mean,
someone likes something.
Sorry, go on.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's like someone will always like whatever it is that you do.
Yeah, and the important thing is that you like it, like you said before.
Yeah.
And that you're streaming it because you think you'll find it fun, not because you think... Because I've made the mistake before of starting games that I started to stream games that I think my viewers will think is fun.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they'll enjoy this. This will be a laugh. But then we get onto it, and I'm not really enjoying it, and then that you've sort of made that was a mistake I've definitely made.
But the key to that is they're your viewers.
Right. Exactly.
They're people who have come to view you.
Exactly.
They're not people who have come to. Right. You know, if you go on a complete change of a game, like if I go from this to the likes of Apex Legends, which is something that I just actually enjoy playing myself, but if you're used to seeing me play these kinds of games and then I go and play Apex Legends, it shouldn't matter as much about the game that I'm playing as the person who's playing it.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
You come to watch me as much as you come to watch the game. So obviously there's going to be some people who are like, well, that game's not for me. Well, you're the poop. What kind of achievement is that? Apparently I'm the poop. I don't know if Earl just pooped himself.
Clayplay has a sort of a follow-up question to that, which is if you're playing a game you're not enjoying much, but it's getting you floods of followers, do you stop or persevere?
I'd stop.
Yeah, I would stop too.
I'd absolutely stop. I have no issues with that whatsoever, because if people are there to watch the gameplay, well then I wouldn't be streaming it in the streaming kind of term. I turn off my camera and I just do it as a gameplay video and then send it to a YouTube channel that has the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm not having fun playing it, which means I'm not going to be having fun talking to the chat, which means I'm not going to be having fun as the game progresses. Yeah. And you're going to see that. And I'm going to get downtrodden and sad-faced and everything's going to go on and the game's going to keep playing, but then you're too focused on the game and you're not as much focused on the streamer. You have to be focused. It's like that's the way that I've always thought about it, because if I'm watching a game like the likes of Fizzy Juice playing Bloodborne, I can watch 50 people play Bloodborne and be interested in it, but I'm really interested in watching him play it.
Right, me too. Yeah.
You know, so if he's playing, he played Paradigm earlier on today. There's a lot of people who are into Bloodborne that are going to watch him play Paradigm because it's him playing Paradigm. When those two games couldn't be any more different.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But so he's hysterical. So.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So you're gonna watch him whatever he's playing. Oh, for God's sake, Earl!
I had to persevere when I played Alien Isolation, and let me tell you, that was rough.
Oh yeah.
I was waking up thinking at 7:30 I have to turn on stream and play this terrifying game.
Yeah, like that must have been rough.
But that was like,
how many people are interested in that? You're not interested in that.
Yeah. Well, I carried on because it was.
You were doing a charity month.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah. If I wasn't, I would have packed it in, because I mean, it's a good game, but I don't enjoy spending my free time just being scared shitless. Which
that's the thing.
I spent 4 hours a night being.
Like, a lot of people think that streaming games is like playing games, but it's not.
It's not at all. It's so different.
Different experience.
So different.
Completely different.
Yeah, Steve says we're all interested in seeing Gabby frightened. That's true.
That's the
yeah.
People enjoyed that a lot.
Log rolling. What?
NJ said, "What's the toughest game you've played and enjoyed?"
Toughest game I played and enjoyed. It's probably Bloodborne. Oh, that didn't work. I would say Bloodborne because I played Bloodborne first, like about 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago, and completely rage quit out of it. Just wasn't able for it at all. I was like, no one can play this game. This is ridiculous. Anyone who says they played this is lying. And
anyone who says they're enjoying this is a liar too.
Exactly. The bloody liars. Oh, maybe I should be on the bike. Maybe I can get up there. Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, let's do
it. But from level difficulty, from the like how difficult it was to the enjoyment that I felt from completing it, it has to be Bloodborne. Absolutely has to be, because the amount of times that you get killed and destroyed, and
yeah, it looks brutal.
Oh, it's insane, and more brutal than this. And this is brutal.
Yeah, but I mean, it looks like a real test of your like mettle and your perseverance.
And like, it's a completely different experience from anyone playing it. Like, some of the bosses that I fought, I would have finished quicker than Fizzy did on his playthrough, or Sulfy, one of my other viewers, who is also streaming Bloodborne. Like, the difference in a boss fight, depending on how you go into it, is a completely different experience, but also an enjoyable one.
Right.
Whatever happens. So, even though it is difficult, it's the only game that I kind of thought I have to do this. This
I have to keep going. Yeah.
Because the adrenaline and the endorphin rush when you finally finish it. If you watched any of my Bloodborne playthroughs, you would see after I defeat a boss that I haven't defeated for quite a while, it's impossible for me to not. And just Tiger Woods, the fist pump, and all kinds of stuff.
You see it in everybody. I mean, I've watched a few people that have played not just Bloodborne, but all of the Soulsborne kind of games. And Fizzy's the same. Some of Fizzy's clips are brilliant when he finally beats a boss. You see that it just erupts out of him how happy he is that he's managed to finally do it. Yeah.
And like, there's no other game that has given me that sense of accomplishment. Yeah. Because like, I've won games of Fortnite, I've won games of Apex, I've won Warzone games, but like, they don't mean anything, because it's 100 people, but you could kill the last person and win the game.
Yeah.
You didn't kill 99 people.
Yeah, you could just hide for a while, I guess.
Just kill the person.
Yep. Just casually killing people.
Riding over people.
Showing my son the way the world works.
Come, Jimmy. Let me show you something.
Let me show you the ways of the world, child. Yeah. All I can hear now is Aladdin in my head. I can show you the world.
Oh, it's so close.
Oh,
so close.
Right, should we?
Like, I've played. Sorry to.
No, go on.
All manner of rage games I enjoy playing, and I'm going to go through a lot of rage games on my stream soon, like Pogo Stuck and that game with the guy in the cauldron and the hammer and stuff.
Is it Getting Over It, or is it Get Over It? Something like that. Oh my god, that looks. I watched Virtue play that on his. He did I don't know if you've come across Virtue, Scruffles. You'd love him as a streamer if you haven't. He did a long charity stream once where he was playing. I tuned in and he was playing that Getting Over It, and my goodness, it just looks horrid. And then I looked up a YouTube video of somebody speed running it, and it is genuinely one of the most impressive sporting achievements that I've ever seen. It's such an incredible game. So I look forward to watching you throw your controller around at that.
Yeah, like, I'm in no way afraid of a challenge when it comes to stuff like that, because I think as long as I can enjoy it, then it's fine. But if the game is actually very well made, it's not just, let's mess up as many people as we can, and it's broken and it's glitchy and it's whatever. The game works perfectly. Make it. No. We can't get enough speed, so I have to just
right. Have another couple of goes, and then we'll go into Crisp Wars.
Yes.
Go on. Oh, he's made it.
No.
Oh, do you have to get to the circle?
Yeah, you have to get to the circle.
Oh god.
And the orange ones are checkpoints.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
I'm not sure you're ever gonna make it. It's so far.
No, he's too slow. Yeah. Anyway.
Right, well then, Gab, play that sound.
Do I have to play the sound?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. Don't worry. I'll. I mean, I said.
We didn't discuss
you asked
this.
me
You
to
just
send
sent
it.
me this.
You asked me to send it to you, so I figured that you were doing the commands. Okay, don't worry. I've got it.
I didn't know we were making a command. I thought it was oh no.
Crisp
Communication with Mike and
Wars.
Gab there.
Right, there we go. It has
You
been.
were like, right,
it has
Gab,
been
play that
played.
sound. I was like,
It has
what?
been played. Everybody's heard it. I can play it again for anybody that was not quite excited enough. So Scruffles,
I'm very excited.
presumably you've seen. I don't know whether you've seen Zion's controversial.
Oh, I did.
Ratings on Crisp Wars.
Oh, I definitely did.
So we're going to do exactly the same bags of crisps. There's 28 bags.
Okay.
The flavour is vital, so the flavour is part of it. It's not just the type of crisp, but the specified flavour is the thing.
Yeah.
And so we'll just get cracking straight into it.
Let's do this.
I'm sorry
very
to have put you on the
excited.
spot, Gab. I thought that you were doing the commands for the channel.
I thought you called it stinger, so I thought you were putting it into the stinger.
Oh no, that's just it's a radio term. Don't worry about it.
All this is going to do, Clay Play, is make me hungry, to be honest.
Well, me too.
I'm not looking to witness.
So up first, as always, salt and vinegar discos up first. Let's get them on top. There we go, where they belong. How do you feel about salt and God
Straight
tier?
in low tier. Straight in low tier.
Oh, low
Not
tier.
bad.
Oh
Drop
no,
them down.
Scruffles, that's so disappointing.
See, this is the thing. This is what I said. I have some very controversial opinions on crisps, and honestly, salt and vinegar crisps are dirt.
Oh no,
They're
no, we're
absolutely
never gonna be.
terrible.
I thought we were gonna be mates after this.
Scruffles.
Absolutely
I
terrible.
think they
Oh,
are so
no.
overhyped, especially by Mike.
Mike's
Mike's like,
my
yeah,
favourite
they're the one.
They're
and
my
I'm like,
favourite. Salt and vinegar crisps are my favourite, apart from prawn cocktail. Ah,
See? Look at the chat. The chat is instantly divided.
here we go. It's happening.
Divided.
The thing is, though, that it makes us even better friends, if anything, Scruffles, because it means if we meet up and we buy loads of crisps, which we will,
Yeah.
then I get all the salt and vinegar ones. So if anything,
Exactly.
okay, well we'll put that behind us. We'll put that behind
Through
us.
this level of adversity, our friendship will continue.
It will. We will persevere.
happen.
Yeah. Okay, so next up.
And me and Gabby will be stuck with the good crisps.
Exactly. And I'm vegan, so you get all the best ones.
Oh yeah, exactly. So next up is lightly sea salted Tyrrells.
They go mid tier,
Yeah.
mainly because of the versatility of just a sea salt plain crisp.
Yeah. I think that's a good call.
It's a very much if you go to a party and see that someone has like, oh, they're just crisps, and you go, oh god, what are they gonna be?
Yeah.
I don't know what they are. This is a pure lottery, and then they're just salt. It's totally fine.
It's fine. They're very middle of the road. I agree.
good.
Yeah. Oh, the
It's
other
good
rule.
for soakage. It's good for dinner parties, stuff like that.
I think you're right. The other rule is that you can't judge the crisps with what dips they go well with. That's not allowed.
No,
you
no,
can't
no.
add
It has
dips.
to be a specific
Yeah, it
one.
has to be. There you go. Okay, so another one. Zion hadn't come across these. I love these crisps. T-bone steak flavor roysters. I feel like they were only available in a very specific part of the UK.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come across
Roysters are they're similar to something that we would have had here like about 10, 15 years ago, but I haven't had them before.
Okay.
I definitely haven't had them
So
before.
Mike will do his amazing description of what this crisp is.
All right, go.
Oh,
You have
well, I
to
mean,
judge.
do I have an
You
amazing...
got to make a pitch.
Well, the royster, it's basically... It's unique, as you can see from the picture here, because they're like tiny poppadoms. They're kind of, they're bubbly, and they catch the flavour very well, and they're very steaky. So I'm not really
Would
going
you
to
compare them to like the McCoy's steak crisps?
No, the
Is that similar
McCoys are better.
flavour?
I think the reason that roysters are good is that they're very, very crispy. Like you get a really good crunch off of them. But it's just that the texture is kind of unusual. So they were kind of unique. It's like when the first football boots came out that had blades instead of studs,
Oh,
and
yeah,
everyone went crazy for them because you'd never seen them before. I think that's why people used to buy roysters. So it's a tough one. If you've never had them before, Scruffles.
I throw them mid tier.
Yeah.
The way you've described them there, I think it'll be kind of, because when I think of like a packet of crisps that I've never had before, I think of it in that kind of, well, look, here's a bowl of them. Yeah. Because if you look at a packet, the branding on packets are just absolutely insane, and a lot of work goes into them for you to be like, oh, these are going to be good or these are going to be bad. So imagine them in a bowl, in a nondescript bowl, and you just absolutely. That's the way I think of it. So I'd say they're mid-tier just because they're T-bone flavor.
I would say if you like a steaky flavored crisp, then you'd like Roasters. I think you would. Okay, good choice. Like that. Right, straight into the classics. Early doors, original flavored hula hoops.
Ooh.
Original hula hoops. You got to go top tier with original flavor hula hoops.
I think so.
Because they just had just the right amount of crunch, saltiness, and they were fun for all ages. Because you could put them on your fingers.
That's what I said last week.
Yeah.
You can pretend to be an alien with them, and there's nothing that beats that, apart from one other crisp that I won't mention till it comes up.
I'm not sure about this pretend to be an alien thing, Gab. That's the bit that you lose me there. Hula hoops on the fingers, yes.
This is our generation.
Pretend to be an alien. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
When I was in school, you'd put the hula hoops on the end of your fingers, and it would be like you had like sucker hands, and you'd be an alien.
Oh,
really?
Like suction cups.
That's what the cool kids were doing when I was in school.
That's what the cool kids were doing. Are you sure?
No, I was definitely not a cool kid. But like, I wasn't the only kid to do this. Like in school on the playground, that's what.
Well, you went round being aliens together. Okay, well, that's the first I've heard of it. Scruffles, alien hula hoop fingers? No.
Never alien hula hoop fingers.
Anyone in the chat? Can anyone in the chat back me up?
Just
anyone
Gab so far,
aliens?
I think. I think it's just Gab so far. Also, confirmed. Mini cheddars are not crisps, so that's put to bed for certain.
Controversy is done with that one.
Yeah, that isn't controversial. Anyway. Okay, so I agree with you, Scruffles.
Also, you can't get regular hula hoops on adult fingers, but you can get big hula hoops.
You can
get big hoops.
They've got the big.
And they go on fingers.
I reckon that they brought out.
You can be an alien as long as you want.
I reckon they brought out those big hoops purely so that adults could then put them on their fingers because you missed doing it.
Pretend to be aliens.
No, that's just you, Gab, the alien.
I would like to see Gabby play a game with alien fingers with big hula hoops on her fingers.
I might get some for tomorrow's stream.
You should get some for the mega stream. Yeah, you can't get them here, so you'll have to.
During Twitch sings.
Yeah, big oops.
I'll sing E.T. by Katy Perry.
That's amazing. What I want is a hula hoop that's big enough that you can put it on your head. One day, eventually we will evolve to the point where that's possible.
You should get a hula hoop Fall Guys crown.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it's speaking my language with the crowns.
I love it.
You need to make one of them and then have a Fall Guys competition. Whoever gets the most crowns gets the hula hoop crown.
I love it. That's a great idea. So hula hoops top tier, I think at least. They'd be near God tier for me. So Scruffles, how do you feel about... How do you feel about...
They're not quite God tier because of the bacon ones.
Oh, yeah, fair. So, entering the middle-class paradise that is kettle chips. How do you feel about a kettle chip?
Honestly, kettle chips are... I don't want to say this, but I have to say it. Kettle chips are what I imagine... I'm so sorry, but this is one of the reasons why people actually listen to me, is because I say things in the most ridiculous way. Kettle chips to me are what a middle-aged divorced mother has during a dinner party, and leaves the packet
instead of food.
Yeah, and leaves the packet out beside the bowl, so you know that they're kettle chips.
Oh, I see. Just puts it behind.
Yeah, it's a real kind of I bought these.
Yeah.
These are very special crisps that I shelled out the extra few quid for just so you can have some nice stuff.
Like that bit from Peep Show. It's like salt and balsamic vinegar flavour kettle chips. Pretty expensive, as I recall.
I don't know. So I put them low tier just because they're a little bit up themselves. To be honest.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I could destroy a bowl of salt and vinegar kettle chips easily, but I totally see why they would be in a lot of people's low tier.
Yeah.
See, my mum's mentioned the kettle vegan cheese crisps,
Oh, yeah.
which are actually really good. So I often have kettle chips in my drawers, and I have learnt that apparently, and that's because I'm a middle-aged divorced woman. Because you're not the only person to say
You've
this.
been judged by Scrufflesbear.
If your mammy buys them for you, it's a very different thing. If they're
No,
given
I
as a
buy
gift,
them for myself.
yeah,
Gab,
but
stop falling into it. You're like the guy from the game, just running into these landmines.
trying to
You know
give you
what?
an out here.
I'm not ashamed to say I enjoy a kettle chip.
I do too.
Oh, that's fine. That's totally fine. If you do it, that's fine. But for me, kettle chips are offered when they're offered to you. It's more like it's a status thing to be like, I got you a kettle chip.
It's true. So Scruffles, I mean, there's only really one place for you to put this next crisp. It's the Pom Bear. It must be God tier.
The top, straight up to the top.
Straight to God tier.
For the exact same reason of
Top tier.
hula hoops.
Top tier.
Because
Oh,
they're
top
just...
tier, not God tier.
Oh no, God tier.
Oh, it is
Oh,
God
God.
tier. Yeah.
God
He
tier.
said straight to the top, so I was like, top
Oh
tier.
no, straight to the top of the leaderboard. God,
I mean-
it's just they're pom bears.
Are
They're
you
incredible.
eating your own kind?
No, in the same way that gingerbread men aren't men.
That's true. Yes. Thank goodness for that.
You know?
Yeah, I panicked for a second there. What you were going to
Do
say?
you
I
know
like
what
a
I mean?
gingerbread man, and as a former sort of almost current ginger man, I do enjoy
See, like
it.
that.
Yeah.
A former
That's what I
ginger
mean.
man.
I was very ginger when I was much gingerer than this.
Ginger.
I was gingerer.
Gingerer.
So Pom Bear have made it to God tier. Yeah, I
Pom
don't
Bear
think many
God tier.
people would disagree with that, to be honest.
I love a good pombo.
They're
Yeah.
just- the entire packet, the cartoon. Actually, if we're talking cartoon bears, that's the bear I want to be. I want to be the pom bear.
Oh, good one. Yeah.
Because that packet, the second you see it, you just can't help but go, yeah, and just smile
Yeah.
and just be happy.
They're wonderful,
Happy
aren't
kids
they?
and
They're
happy
magical.
adults with the pom bear in the press. Love them.
Okay, next up is one that I've never had before. It is the Smith's spicy tomato flavor snaps.
Oh,
I have never come across these before.
I can't be silent when
never.
these are brought up. Like,
Well, explain
kill
them
for
to
a
me then,
snack.
because I've never seen snaps before in my life.
Go on then, Gab.
oh my! Have you ever had like a spicy tomato crisp?
No,
Like, oh,
they don't make their way over here. You've gone international with the Mike and Gabby show now.
Oh.
This is on you.
It is a bit tomato is a bit exotic, isn't it? It's quite Italian.
it's really hard
Yeah.
to explain the flavor. I guess like imagine Heinz tomato soup. I'm assuming you've had that.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Heinz has made its way to Ireland. It
Yeah.
has.
You just didn't make any kind of reaction, and I'm like, do they have
No,
tomato
because-
soup in Ireland? I don't know.
Because I'm about to disappoint you and say that I absolutely despise tomato soup.
Well, I despise tomato soup, but something about it in crisp form is.
Oh.
So snaps are
Oh.
snaps are kind of similar to squares, like texture-wise. They're quite like
Right.
airy, but
Mm.
they've got a good, not like a quaver, not that airy.
Yeah.
Somewhere in between. I'm very passionate
I
about
think I'd
snaps.
like
I think
them.
they're brilliant. There's something that like my mum would have bought them for me, and I'd be like, oh, I don't want that. But then I ate one and I ate the whole bag. Like, you know,
Yeah.
very Moorish. That's my
Oh,
description.
That'd be straight mid tier for me.
Mid-tier.
If anything is Moorish, I'd go mid tier.
Yeah. Agreed.
Because pom bears have that horrible thing of they're advertised and made for kids, so they come in a slightly smaller packet than like other big adult crisps, and you have to eat 2 or 3.
That's
Yeah.
true.
You can't just have one.
Yeah, that is true.
And they know what they're doing.
They do. They're clever. They're clever marketing to children, and then
Yep.
hooking all the adults as well. Well, speaking of marketing to children, spicy flavor transformer snack.
Now these taste the same as snaps.
Yeah,
However, you can make a car out of them.
you can make them into
And
a
this
car.
is what I was saying about up there with the hula hoops. The only thing better than a hula
Ooh.
hoop is a crisp where you can make a car.
What's happening here? There we go.
Oh
So yeah,
wow.
you get
That's-
you get these two shapes, and you can make it into a little car. Of course, it never looks like the picture. Usually your little car looks awful.
I'm seeing a little bit more other things than car, but I feel like they're 30p, so
They are.
It's a real kind of pocket money. Go down to the shop. Do I have enough for this man behind the counter? Kind of crisp.
Right.
And he says, yes, you may make cars out of crisps.
Yeah.
30p.
Also, here's an engineering magazine where you can design the greatest Transformer snack ever. I gotta go mid tier. If it's gonna bring that much happiness to kids, you gotta put it in the mid, because I've never tasted them, so I don't know flavor wise. But if they can have that much wholesomeness in them, they deserve to go.
They deserve a mid rating. Okay, right. Crispy bacon flavor wheat crunchies.
Ooh. Oh, see, they look like the kind of thing. I've never had them, but they look like the kind of thing that's in behind a pub, in like behind the bar, that's just been on the shelf for like about 8 years and has never been touched. That's what that packet kind of looks like to me.
Well, yeah, because last week we established that wheat crunchies are like bamboo. They're so solid that you could make houses out of them.
Oh God,
They're
no!
firm.
No, you couldn't have that.
They're firm.
You couldn't have that. No, I'd put that in the bin then.
Bin? Oh, bin.
Yeah, that'd be straight bin.
Oh, bin tier. That is a big call.
God.
It's a big
I couldn't
call.
have that.
Big
couldn't have
call.
that.
Villainy agrees. Somebody else said bin as well. Bobsy said bin. That's a strong one. I've got to say,
There's a few bins there.
crispy bacon isn't my favourite flavour of wheat crunchies, but I do like them. I like them because they're challenging. You know.
Yeah.
You know, you really need to commit to a wheat crunchy.
I feel like they're kind of hiding the crispiness of the actual crisp in the crispy bacon flavor.
That's
because
true.
like, is it a bacon flavor or is it crispy bacon flavor? Just because
Yeah,
you're
it's too
crispy
specific.
doesn't make it a crispy bacon.
That is a strong argument. We should write to them as soon as this is over. Okay.
You know what? The more I think about wheat crunchies, the more I think, actually, no, I don't like them. I agree with you. Bin tier.
They wouldn't be bin for me, but they would probably be somewhere mid to low. I think that particular flavour. Salt and vinegar McCoy Scruffle. This is gonna
Straight low tier.
Oh no! I was gonna
Straight
say
low
this is gonna scruffle a few feathers. Straight low tier.
Oh, great low tier.
Thank you.
No question about it.
Oh, such a shame.
Because they're salt and vinegar. It's only because they're McCoys that they actually stay up, and it's only because the others were Discos that they stay up, because I actually like the brand.
Discos.
So the crisp is actually good. The flavor is bad.
I'm really excited to go to the pub with you. I'm gonna eat like a king.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
To be fair, I'm a biggish man, so we're gonna be eating like kings whatever happens.
Yes, let's do it. Okay, so into the first prawn cocktail flavour crisp, Skips.
Skips.
Come on, Scruffles.
Up to the god.
Oh,
Yes.
Straight
the
away.
gods.
Straight away up to the gods.
I think Zion might have had Skips in God tier. I don't remember, but yeah, Skips. Very popular.
Skips. I genuinely buy share packs of them and just eat them myself. They're incredible.
I thought you were going to say you'd buy shares in them.
I would buy shares in them. I would.
That would be a good investment.
Skips in the
Skips
bin.
right in the bin.
Oh.
Nick, no.
Babbly's just turned up. He said, I've arrived at the most important part, it seems.
Yeah, Babbly, you've made it for
Crisp
the most important part for sure. Scruffles has made some strong choices so far. And the party continues with pickled onion flavoured Space Raiders.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Straight in the bin.
Oh! Scruffles, explain yourself.
Just gotta pick Gabby's jaw off the floor there. Sorry.
Straight in the bin.
Absolute
Straight in the bin.
betrayal.
Oh.
Straight in the bin.
Oh.
Not happening. No pickled onion, nothing.
Oh.
Get straight in the bin. No matter what they are. I don't care where they're from. Pickled onion is the worst flavor.
Oh my god,
of
I am
crisp
hashtag
I've ever
shook.
tasted in my life.
Oh, shook.
I don't think anyone saw my. So
No,
you looked like you were gonna say God tier. I was like, here it comes. And then I was like,
stunned by that. I'm stunned.
I like
I'm
to keep you on your
absolutely
toes. Straight bin.
Okay, well,
Absolutely.
I'm very fearful of how the next one's going to go. Smith's
You just don't
Scampi
know.
flavor fries.
Scampi fries go in top tier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mainly because they were my choice of crisp when I was in the pub all the time.
That's interesting.
To the point where we used to buy, because it was our local pub and there was only like 200 people in the actual village. The slab that they used to come on, there used to be like about 24, 26 or something, like all in a row that you just take them all off. We used to buy them behind the bar by like the full like display slab thing, and then used to just there was a chalkboard behind the bar, and we had our names and we had the numbers of crisps that we still had left.
That is amazing.
We buy them like that because we were like, look, I'm going to invest in, like, literally we're investing in them now. Let me know when my time runs out and I'll give you another like 20 quid worth of Scampi fries. And that's the reason that they're in top tier and not in the god tier, because those days were a little bit dangerous for me.
Yeah, sounds it. Jill, the artful mum Jill has said Knick-Knack, Scampi and Lemon, one of my favourite crisp flavours of all time. So hard to come by. You know, you need to go black market to find those nowadays. They're amazing. I'm with you all the way, Jill, every single time. I'm kind of surprised, Scruffle, because I would have thought that pickled onion and Scampi and fries, two pretty strong and unusual flavours, you'd probably have to... I expected you to put them together. I really did think you would.
Strong flavours doesn't mean similar flavours.
No, but I would have imagined people would categorise those two quite similarly, so I'm pleasantly surprised, I have to say.
Space Raider Betrayal, oh my god. Okay.
Coming back down to earth with a bump, Walker's Max Paprika. I think, to be honest, this crisp is representing paprika crisps on this list, because I think it's the only paprika one.
I'd have to put the mid tier because I've tasted better paprika crisps.
Yeah.
Like Pringles paprika are better than Walker's Max.
I agree.
And when it comes to Walker's Max, there's not as much flavour on each individual crisp as there should be. It's one of those things, if you were sharing a packet of crisps, one person got a lot more paprika than the other person did.
Yeah, you're absolutely
and I'm not
right.
about that. I'm very communist when I
Well, and that segues beautifully, speaking of even distribution of flavouring, Frazzles. Where do you stand on Frazzles?
I stand on Frazzles in the same way that any other Irish person stands on Frazzles, in that I have no idea about them at all.
Well, they're very, very... I mean, they're in the shape of bacon, and they actually
I mean,
look
they're
like
we have,
bacon.
See, because we have bacon fries, which are the same brand as Scampi fries. But because they're Frazzles, I think that they have to go below where bacon fries would be, which means that they have to go low tier.
Okay. All right.
Because bacon fries are mid tier and Scampi fries are top tier, which means Frazzles have to go in low tier.
Got it. That's fair.
Yeah. I mean, Frazzles are quite... You get one crisp in a pack that's super strong, and then the next crisp doesn't taste of anything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, that's straight low tier then. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't do things like that.
They're also very divisive in the chat. Some people absolutely swear by them, and I've always found them to be a bit middling myself. Okay, next up. Quavers. It's tense.
I'm looking at you, ready for the betrayal again.
Tense. I don't have a strong feeling about Quavers, so I'm...
The cheese flavouring of Quavers is good. I like the cheese flavouring of Quavers. I can't deny that whatsoever. But Quavers are too airy.
Too airy, okay.
They're too airy, but also not airy enough. Because skips are so airy and too airy that they just melt on your tongue. But Quavers don't exactly melt on your tongue in the same way the skips do. It just, because there's something to compare it to, I don't really like it. But I'm gonna put them mid tier. Because I'd still if they were the only crisps in the house and there was a multi-pack of them, they'd all be gone in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I would eat every one of them, but I wouldn't be happy about it.
I would destroy them, but I wouldn't like it. Yeah, okay, fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That is fair. I think I feel the same way. Okay, how about this one then? On the Frazzles and Scampi and Fries continuum, Smith's Chipsticks. Uh-oh.
Oh, see this is where I get a little bit too Irish and a little bit too Republican. Because Tayto make chipsticks, and Tayto chipsticks are actually probably the only salt and vinegar crisps that I actually enjoy.
Oh, okay.
So I think I'm gonna have to put them in low tier and relegate them to the salt and vinegar low tier zone.
Okay.
Very decisive.
It seems like salt and vinegar is just default low tier.
The salt and vinegar is default low tier, but if you had Tayto chipsticks, they'd be mid tier.
Okay, that would be a different story. Got it.
Mainly because it's just a different kind of vinegar, you know.
Scruffles is quite picky, you know.
I'm
thinking back to
very
Zion's
picky.
grid last week, and I'm sure he had a lot in top tier.
Yeah. I think it's better to be picky. I think it's a good thing. There's a lot of crisps out there, Gam.
There are a lot of crisps out there.
I mean, there's 3 packets of Tayto behind me right now.
Well, you'll have the opportunity to add them at the end. You get to add 2 at the end on top.
Ooh.
But we'll keep ploughing on. We've got French fries, and the French fries are a little bit special on this because they are not flavor specific. So this represents all flavors of French fry, which makes it a little bit trickier, I think.
Do you know what? I'm actually going to put French fries in low tier.
Okay, interesting.
Because French fries are the things that I don't want to get in a bag of mixed crisps.
Yeah.
Oh, right, really?
They're the
Like,
ones
like,
you either get out of the way straight away or you just don't bother at all. Someone does not agree with you.
Someone's raging.
Someone's died out there.
Someone's come round.
It's the French fries.
Yeah. I think it might be somebody who's upset about Space Raiders. They've figured out where you live, and
It's me. Banging with my alien fingers.
Gab's already sent someone round.
But see, like, this is the thing. As divisive as this is, if we all meet up, like, all at the same time,
it's going to be
then
great.
You get all the salt and vinegar, Gabby, you get all the Space Raiders, and then I'll get all the Scampi fries.
Well, I won't, because you'll have thrown them in the bin by the time I get there.
Yeah, but you just have to be at the bin, ready to catch them.
You'll just see my alien fingers.
Little alien fingers hiding.
You don't get much grip on them alien fingers, I've been told.
I honestly, as a bag of salt and vinegar French fries, I would annihilate. I do like the salt and vinegar ones. All the other flavors of French fries, I could probably take or leave, I think. Okay, moving on. Another pub classic: roast beef and mustard flavor Brannigan's. Another one that you see in the pub attached to that little thing that you were talking about, Scruffles. You know, on the board, attached to the board with the pork scratchings.
Yeah.
They're your dad's favourite crisp, or they were my dad's favourite crisp anyway.
I'd say mid-tier. I am very picky when it comes to the top and god tier.
Yeah.
But because the only reason that they're going mid-tier and they're not going higher is because we don't have enough of them here. They're only in very specific places.
Rarity does hurt them.
Yeah.
It hurts them.
Because you don't have as much of a memory of really good crisps. Because if it was that good, I'd have hunted them down.
Yes.
To the ends of the earth if they were that good.
Yeah. And another beautiful segue. I've hunted these down in Spain and actually had them delivered to me on Amazon because they're so unusual.
Yeah.
Here,
yeah.
I mean. Prawn cocktail flavour Walkers.
Top tier.
You're my kind of man, Scruffles.
Top tier. Mainly because prawn cocktail to me is like the forbidden flavor. Because anytime there was ever a prawn cocktail thing in our house, it did not last very long at all.
Right.
So anytime anyone got something prawn cocktail in our house, it was like you had to hide them under your pillow at nighttime. It was that kind of situation.
That's good, yeah.
Desperately seeked out.
I agree. They'd be one of my few god tier crisps, I think. These ones, yeah, prawn cocktail. Along with our next crisp, God amongst crisps, nice and spicy knickknacks.
Oh, I'd have to put them top tier for the same reason as the Brannigans. Because we don't get knickknacks as much in Ireland as we should. But every time I was over visiting my sister, who used to live in Manchester, she used to have knickknacks in the press, and that was just it. I used to come home like about 3 stone heavier, just full of knickknacks, which was ridiculous because
knickknacks.
Yeah, for anybody living in Edinburgh that likes nice and spicy knickknacks, on the corner of Easter Road, there's a little corner shop, and they sell the 50-gram grab bags of them for £1.
Wow.
Oof.
I used to go in there
knickknacks are
every
one
day.
of those crisps you have to eat more than one bag because they're so small.
You do, and
Yeah.
they're also very Moorish. Once you've had a few,
Very
they are
Moorish.
like
Yeah.
yeah,
I like the rib ones.
a ribbon saucy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Purple
Are they in a
bag
purple
ones.
packet, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
bag.
purple ones and the nice and
very
spice, and the scampi and lemon I used to love. Wasn't that bothered about the cream? Was it cream and cheesy? Was that the other one?
Oh, I don't think I've tried that. Or
Yeah,
haven't
there
seen
was
it.
a yellow
What
bag.
colour?
It was like a sort of light yellow kind of bag, as I recall. Somebody.
I know the green bag was the scampi one.
Yeah, scampi and lemon was green. There was purple and orange, and then there was a kind of yellowy, creamy coloured kind of bag. I think it was called cream and cheesy or something. Somebody in the chat. They were a bit weird. They were a bit weird. You definitely would just go.
Wonder I never seen
Cream
them.
and cheesy
I think
knickknacks.
I think so.
I'd avoid them at all costs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, right, here we go. We'll keep moving. Oh, Fizzy's in. Hi, Fizzy. You've joined at
Hi,
a good time,
Fizzy.
Fizzy. We're into Scruffles' top 7 crisps, or rather the top 7 on this list. So here
Can we
go.
just say about Sion, who said, "You say I wasn't picky enough. I think I was just bolder."
Boulder. Oh, that's fighting
Boulder.
talk. That is fighting talk. Okay, Zion
Fair,
versus
that's fair.
Scruffles. The showdown next time on the Mike and Gabby Show.
Fight
Okay.
for the crisps.
So we have sour cream and onion Pringles.
God tier.
God tier. Wow, massive. So
All
Zion
the way
put
up to
these
the
quite
top.
low, but because he'd had a bad time with them, where he'd eaten too many and then been ill, which I think is acceptable. Why God tier?
In a way, I can see why that would happen. But like, has he eaten sour cream and onion Pringles again, or has he never eaten sour cream and onion?
I don't know. He'd have to answer that himself. But why do they make your God tier one of the few Scruffles?
Because there's currently a thing of Pringles that are in our house, and that is the only flavor that I am actually allowing myself to ever have of Pringles, because the majority of Pringles go in the God tier. The only ones that don't, sorry Mike, are the salt and vinegars.
I think you've stated your salt and vinegar case. I accept it.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's yeah. But yeah, no, they're just incredible. They're just something that they're like. If I cast my mind back to crisps I've eaten as a child, I've eaten sour cream Pringles so much more than anything else. To the fact that anytime I see anything that's sour cream flavored, I'm like, if they're like Pringles, I'll like them.
Right.
And
yeah.
like, I will try just about anything just because of that. And they've been an entryway to an awful lot of other crisps.
they're
for
a
me.
they're a gateway crisp, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, once you pop, you can't stop is a very good tagline.
Yeah.
But it's also very good to do, you know?
Yeah, they're the new popular thing down in Leith, I've heard. Well, so for me, sour cream is the one that would dip slightly lower than the rest, but it's for the same reason actually, is because I've been so overexposed to them. I absolutely adored them at one point in my life, and then they've kind of slowly come down the other side as other flavors have taken over in my life. But I get it. I understand the obsession. I was obsessed with them for a while.
But like, across the board, it's all Pringles. They will all go the exact same way.
Yeah.
They'll all go on the same tier.
Yeah.
Except
I
salt and
think
vinegar, but that's my own
It's
thing.
kind of funny that this is on my desk.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, Pringles. Hate
To
them.
be fair, I have been on stream with a thing of Pringles
Me too.
that I'm not going to delve too much into, so we'll just continue on.
Yeah. All right. And with that, next up, tangy cheese flavored Doritos.
Tangy cheese Doritos.
Yeah.
Zion rated these surprisingly low. I can't remember the exact tier, but I remember being surprised.
I think it was because he said that if you combine them with salsa, then you're getting towards gob tier, but you're not allowed to combine them. You have to take them as a crisp by themselves.
Take them as they are.
Yeah.
If you take them as a crisp by themselves, I'd have to say mid tier. No, sorry, low tier. Because
tier.
of the mess. Because of the mess.
Because of the mess.
The mess.
Because of the mess. Because of the orange fingers.
Oh, because you
Because
get
of
all
the-
the cheesy fingers.
because that's closer to alien fingers to me than hula hoops ever.
Now that makes me think of Toy Story. You know when he has the cheesy
Oh,
puffs
yeah.
and the dog licks his fingers.
Scott and Vinley with a Doritos emote. I love that. Imagine if you'd got all the Dorito dust all over your fingers and then you put hula hoops on, Gab. That's like double alien. Tomorrow will be the
If
day.
Twitch Sings happens tomorrow, I'm performing with hula hoops on my fingers.
Okay, you all heard it. You all heard it. How many people have we got? 26 of you all heard that. Okay. Right, moving on. This is a divisive one. Walker's Thai sweet chili flavor sensations.
Oh. See, they're along the same lines as the kettle chips.
Oh.
Because they all kind of came out. Now, this is it's mid-tier for the sensations. Because there are better flavors of sensations out there, but they're not. They were kind of seen as like an upper scale crisp where we were. Where it was kind of advertised as like when you're having all your friends around and like a come dine with me kind of situation, break out the sensations.
Yeah.
And like they're tasty, but they're not that good. So
see, my memory of sensations is every time I ever got drunk at a house party, like sensations were there.
Yeah. The way I feel about sensations, I kind of feel I look at
like
them
in my teens, not
I
now.
look at them as opposed to kettle chips. Kettle chips are like the crisps that Tories eat. And I mean, I eat them. I'm not a Tory, but I understand what I'm doing by eating kettle chips. But at least kettle chips are just brazen about it, aren't they? They know what they are. They're the upper middle class nightmare of a crisp. Sensations are like they're like a pale imitation, and it's like either go the whole hog or don't bother. Sensations, you know.
The made in Chelsea of crisps.
The made in Chelsea of crisps. Yeah, that's it. Funyuns has got it.
I have to ask what better flavour of sensations there are than sweet chili. Because I've only ever tried sweet chili sensations, I think.
There are some roast chicken and thyme that are really good.
I hate chicken flavoured crisps.
Yeah.
Even before I was veggie, I hated chicken flavoured crisps. I'm
caramelised onion.
I'd love caramelised onion.
Yeah.
I'd be up for trying that.
Sensations
Charlie said I choked laughing in public.
Sorry, Charlie. Yeah. So it's funny because Fizzy said all chicken flavoured crisps are rotten. I agree. Apart from those sensations, they're the only ones. And I think it's that little sprinkle of thyme. It just changes everything.
Just elevate it a little bit.
Exactly. See, Scruffles and I are on the same page. Okay, and a weird inclusion now, Scruffles. A weird inclusion, but it is included. Cheese and onion flavoured squares.
I've never had squares before.
Oh, really? God, the best ones are the salt and vinegar ones. So it's all downhill from there.
They're quite crisp. They're quite crispy.
They are quite crispy, and they're square, which is quite unique.
Well, if it's, I don't want to go full pure Ronseal on this, but if what's in the bag is what's on the tin, maybe mid-tier is the way to go.
They're pretty good flavour from what I can remember.
I think that
I like the flavour. I like the shape.
Squares are well flavoured, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say mid-tier, mainly because I haven't had them. You can't put something in the top tier that you've never had. That's
I agreed.
A hot take straight away.
Okay, three to go, Scruffles, and you're about to upset everybody. I already know it.
Yep.
Pickled onion flavoured Monster Munch.
Oh, absolutely gorgeous crisps. I know many people who love them, but I absolutely hate them, so throw them in the bin.
They're going to the bin. I knew it. When you said it about Space Raiders earlier, I thought this is going to cause carnage later.
When we don't even need to ask Scruffles about Star Wars. Like, this is enough.
Yeah, scenes. The hashtag scenes. I need a scenes emote, I think, because
if you want to ask me about Star Wars, you can ask me about Star Wars because I have interesting takes on that too.
That is a shout. I mean, Bobsy agrees with you.
Yeah, don't get it.
Mixins86 agrees with you. But yeah, I mean, Fizzy summed it up. There's scenes. Yeah, I knew there was a scenes.
Fizzy's done.
Space Raiders and Monster Munch in the bin. But I mean, if you put one in the bin, you've got to go both, haven't you? Because it'd be a weird choice to put one in the bin and not the other.
See, Clayplay knows. I'm not trying to win any friends here. I'm just being me.
Clayplay, yeah. Scruffles is just going for it.
Just being me, babe.
He's just doing it. Okay. So Scruffles, as far as I know, this is officially Britain's favourite crisp. As far as I know, I'm happy to be corrected
Probably
about
been
that.
then. From an Irish person, it's probably been.
Cheese and onion Walkers.
Oh, low tier.
Yeah, I
Low
think so
tier,
as well.
absolutely.
I would too.
Low tier mainly because, like, if the packet's about that size, there's about that many crisps in it.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm about
I'm
to
like-
quit the show.
CMR Funyuns, the Mumford and Sons of crisps.
You're gonna have
if
to
there was
find a
about-
new co-host, Mike. I'm about to quit.
Oh,
If there was-
Gab's about to rage quit.
If there was about twice as many crisps in Walkers, because Walkers are Lay's, aren't they? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
same
The
company.
American
yeah.
version of Walkers are Lay's, and they're famous for being like 80% air. And as much as Gary Lineker is an incredible broadcaster, he can't make Walkers any better. I'm sorry.
It's interesting, yeah. Well, okay, and the final one from this, the final crisp from this selection before you can add 2 of your own, is Whatsits.
See, this is weird, and it's going to be very strange because I put Doritos. I put Doritos in the low tier because of the mess that they make, and people are not going to think that I'm actually being fair here. But Whatsits go in the top tier for me
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, top tier.
because the mess is the same, but they are along the same lines of the skips when it comes to the airiness.
Hmm.
And the coating of the cheese as it melts on your tongue off a Whatsit is so much better than any kind of Doritos flavoring would be. So I think Whatsits are definitely top tier. And
Well,
plus, when you open a bag of Whatsits, that first of the cheese,
It's true.
is just
I generally don't like cheesy flavoured crisps, but I have definitely in my life eaten like a fruit bowl sized portion of Whatsits
Oh, yeah.
in one go. Just
Or
basically
the little
bury your
cheese
face,
balls.
destroy
yes.
it. So
Little cheese balls you get from Asda for
Yeah.
like 90p.
It's funny because I would probably say that Whatsits probably a single Whatsit would go mid tier, but if you put them in a large receptacle like a small dustbin, then top tier for me.
A single Whatsit would be.
Yeah, I mean individually, they're more than the sum of their parts, you know. And individual Whatsits don't, you know,
Can
it's
I
a good
offer
it's a
you a
good thing they don't
single
just
Whatsit?
you don't open a bag and there's just one in there. Then that would be probably low tier for me.
That would be Walker's level low.
Yeah.
So Scruffles, you can add. We've got 28, so we like to round it up to 30. So you can add 2 of your own. I would
See,
probably
I'd love to add 2 of my own, but the majority of the people who are going to be on this are not going to have ever had
Doesn't
any
matter.
Irish crisps.
Zion put Seabrooks on, which
it's
were quite.
purely for research
Yeah,
purposes.
it's
Right.
doesn't matter. It's specific to the guest. So go on.
Well, smoky bacon Tato's. Tato smoky bacon crisps are the god tier of all crisps. And there's a gluten-free crisp from O'Donnell's. That's a place in Tipperary, and they do a Thai sweet chili crisp that is
Ooh.
absolutely incredible.
Okay, so when you say when you say smoky bacon tater, is this what we're looking at?
You're looking at these bad boys right here.
Hang on. Let's have a
That's
look.
what you're looking at.
Oh, okay, it's a different brand, but it's the same. It's just hang on, I got it.
That's like Tato for you. This is the proper Irish.
This is the one.
This
I
is
think
straight from
is that
the
that one? I think I've got it. Yeah, that's the one. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
So these are these are god tier, are they?
Tato or god
Scruffles?
Tato or god tier,
God
and
tier.
the O'Donnell's. It's a green packet. The O'Donnell's one. It's a Thai sweet chili, and they're god tier as well. They're just different. I don't know anyone who's
They
ever
hit
had.
different.
They do. They just do.
Oh yeah, I've got them.
I
Oh,
don't know
I've
anyone
actually
who's ever had them.
I've actually had these. I recognise the bag. Is it that?
I recognise the name. Oh, no.
Yes.
Yeah,
they're
I
the
recognise
ones.
that.
They're the ones.
Yeah.
They're what kettle chips wish they were.
I might have had a bag of them when I was in Dublin that one time.
And like they're gluten free, so
Oh,
they're just everyone
double
can have
good.
them. Amazing.
Well, there you go then.
There you
There
go.
is Crisp Wars. Do you want to play the sound
yeah,
one more
right,
time,
just-
Mike?
Yeah.
Just the prawn cocktail for Teo is so strong it actually hurts your mouth if you eat a full pack of them.
I need them.
Yeah.
I need them. Well, when all this pandemic nonsense is over and I inevitably come back to Ireland,
yep,
you'll have to get me.
I'll be there.
Yes.
I'll be at the terminal, standing there with at Mike Paul Vox on a sign and a packet of Teo hanging.
I love. Oh my god! Yes, yes. I'm so keen. How am I live clipping the images so quickly? I'm doing it in Photoshop using a window capture. Is how I'm doing it. So it isn't what Charlie's saying, though I'm sure Charlie is also correct. But I'm just using Photoshop. So there you go, the official Scrufflesbear crisp rankings. 45 minutes later, and lots of tears from both Gab and the chat. Are you happy with that, Scruffles? Now that you can reflect as a whole?
I'm happy with that.
No last minute changes.
I'm happy with that. I don't think so. No, everything's right there. The bin is absolutely perfect.
I'm really happy that no salt and vinegar made it into the bin, even though you don't like salt and vinegar.
No, it's because I know so many people who enjoy them, and honestly, Space Raiders I hate that much. I really, really do.
Fair. Okay.
Any kind of pickle flavors just go straight in the bin. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
I can't love someone enough to get them out of the bin. I really can't, because my boyfriend absolutely loves them, and I still put them in the bin. So. Oh,
I was gonna ask you, what would happen if Plant Daddy, at Plant_Daddy, by the way, everyone, suddenly became obsessed with prawn cocktail flavored Space Raiders?
He's obsessed with Banshee bones, which are pickled onion flavored, I think.
I don't know those.
They're rarely seen anymore. They were only brought back for Halloween. They're made by Teo as well. Absolutely a god tier crisp when it comes to Irish people, but an absolute bin tier crisp when it comes to Scrufflesbear. And he loves meanies. He loves all kinds of pickled onion flavor stuff, and I'm just straight away. Well, it's one of the reasons why we work as a couple, because he gets to eat all of them and I don't touch them or go near them.
Exactly the same thing though. What a team you are! What a brilliant pair! You dovetail perfectly on the crisp front. Amazing.
And that's the only front that matters.
Exactly, the crisp front. All the best countries, relationships, everything built on crisps. Yep. Well, everybody, that was. Crisp Wars. Thank you for indulging me with the stinger. It's amazing. So there we go.
So so glad you made that.
That was Crisp Wars. Yeah, that was Crisp Wars, and that was also what I did this afternoon. Just get a shout out for
Mike. Wait, just get a shout out for Mike. Last week I was like, Mike, I think you should record saying like Crisp Wars, and he sent me that this morning, and I was like, wow, you've outdone yourself. Yeah. I thought you were just going to be like Crisp Wars, but no. There was a crunch.
Yeah, no. I decided to have an explosion. I thought we might as well go big.
Go big or go home.
So there you go. And while we're upsetting everybody, Martin brings up a good point, Scruffles. It's also quickly become tradition on the Mike and Gabby Show to give an unpopular opinion about Star Wars.
Something that you're ashamed
of. A controversial opinion about Star Wars that will upset Star Wars fans. Opinion. Yeah.
I honestly don't even want to say it.
Oh, you can't be worse than what's already happened, I don't think. I think I hate Star Wars is the only thing that would fully lose everybody worse than what's already happened on previous episodes.
No, that's what he was gonna say. No.
See, I think genuinely that the Phantom Menace wasn't that bad.
Okay.
I think that Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, is one of the better Star Wars films that has actually come out, and Jar Jar Binks wasn't as bad as everyone says he is.
That's okay. I think you'll get away with that. I think you'll get away with that relatively unscathed. I think Bobsy in the chat has taken the heat off you by saying all the Star Wars films are mediocre. So I think you're fine, Scruffles.
God no. Star Wars, genuinely, the first film I ever watched in the cinema that like sparked my love of the cinema is The Phantom Menace.
Really? That's interesting.
I watched it recently enough, and I'm not going to say it holds up because obviously the graphics on it were actually terrible. by today's standards, but the storytelling and the acting and everything in it was actually pretty fucking good.
That is amazing. The film that got you into cinema, which you're now studying and actively participating in as a potential career, was Star Wars: The Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
There you go, guys.
That is a fact. That's an interesting one.
Oh. And the thing that got me into horror games, horror films, and everything was when I was shown From Dusk Till Dawn when I was 5 years old.
Oh,
and I have a solid memory of being behind the sofa, crying my eyes out while my stepdad absolutely wet himself with laughter because I wasn't able to handle the incredible pain and misery that went on in that film. And that's why I horror stuff now.
I got shown that film and not told it was a horror film, and you just don't know, do you? If you don't know anything about that film and you watch the first half an hour, you're like, I wonder where this is going. And then it gets a little bit crazy.
The second they get to the bar, you're like, oh, I just wonder where this is going to go.
Right.
And then you still don't make the decision on where it's going to go. You
Yeah.
still can't predict the insanity that fucking takes over from there.
Yeah. Zion says that's the main twist, but I mean, it's even more of a twist than I was expecting. It's even more of a...
Considering I was 5 years old when it happened, the idea of the twist was kind of lost on me.
Oh, well, I guess you were busy crying.
Yeah, I wasn't able to go, God, that was very interesting, that twist, though. I didn't see that one coming at all. I was too busy going...
Jurassic Park.
Oh,
Everyone's like, how have you not seen Jurassic Park? My only memory of Jurassic Park is being like 5 years old, hidden behind my nan's sofa because my cousin put it on and I was absolutely terrified, crying. And I would be like, Nan, he's put it on again. Like crying my eyes out because I was terrified of the dinosaurs. Now I think I'd love it, but
the dinosaurs are going to eat those kids. Like that.
I just remember that shot.
scary.
Like
It's a
everyone will know
scary- It's a
the
scary
famous
film.
shot when it's, I don't know what it is, if it's a Rex or a raptor, like someone's hidden behind like a cupboard and you can just see its face coming out as it's like looking. Yeah, you know the shot. I mean.
Velociraptor, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. And see, now I'm just the raptor queen. Absolutely no fear.
Gab's taken
I would
on
have
the
tranked
mantle
that.
of Raptor Queen.
Many hours of arc, and then straight into Jurassic Park.
Gabby hasn't seen Jurassic Park either. Get her! Well, I was going to say, controversially, you said Star Wars Phantom Menace was what got you into film. Avatar was what got me into film.
Was it? Interesting.
I remember watching that in the cinema, but more for like the visuals than the actual story, right? I know it's just Pocahontas in space, but I remember like watching that and then watching the behind the scenes and how James Cameron, he had like this screen. So he'd walk around just this massive studio that's just grey, but on the screen it showed you like the whole of Pandora, and I was just like, whoa,
It was fascinating,
that's amazing.
technically.
Yeah.
I
And,
remember
like,
seeing a
anyway-
documentary about it.
When it comes to anything in film these days, James Cameron has thrown us about 50 years into the future with the stuff that he's able to do and the stuff that his company does. It's insane.
It's true. So, Scruffles, how are you for time? Are you okay to go for a bit, or do you want to? How do you feel?
No, I'm good. I'm all good.
Gab?
Good to go.
Yeah, I'm good to go for a bit longer.
Because I've got
Let's get
tons of questions that we haven't got to yet for Scruffles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
More
want to
guts and glory.
ask desperately. Been waiting very patiently
Go
to
on.
ask
go
about
on.
the book you're writing. Did you say it was a novel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know about this novel you're writing. So, like, what genre is it? Tell us a bit. Tell us what you
It
can.
is going to be a science fiction
Oh
tale.
yes, brilliant.
Are you a fan of science fiction, perchance?
Yeah,
Ellie?
I wrote a science fiction script for my uni degree, so I was like, I wonder if it's going to be science fiction.
Very cool. Yes.
This is when you tell me it's the exact same story. Can you imagine?
If it is, I have to have you tried as a witch because I've never heard of much than I have for this story. Sorry, I just focused way too much on his jiggly shoulders. All right, see you there, Earl. Yeah, it's based around the concept of human beings' potential, and there's a guy, an evil guy, because the majority of guys are. Wait, what? That's not physically possible. There you go.
It was worth a try.
Yeah. The idea generally is there's the main character is called Genevieve Scottsdale, and she has the capability to influence people. I'm not going to go into how she does it, but she has gained this ability from being experimented on when she was a child by a man who has recently died, but hasn't actually died. He's taken over. This sounds absolutely ridiculous and convoluted, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. He's died, but he's actually taken over the consciousness of someone else, of someone who's 17 years old, and he just happens to have the same name as him, which is just, there's more of a link, but I'm not really going to
spoiler free.
Spoiler free.
I want to be as spoiler free as possible. But Genevieve essentially is going around trying to kill everybody who has been experimented on. Can I do family vacation? Oh, I can. Genevieve wants to kill everyone so she can be the only person who has all these incredible powers, and she can do whatever she wants with them. So the way that she's going to find out about all the other people who have been experimented on, and that because Norman is dead, everyone's going to be a little bit freaked out about it and what's happening with their special powers and all kinds of stuff. So she has actually set up a support group for people who think they're mentally ill or things that are going to happen with them or whatever. So there's people coming to her who can like hear other people's thoughts, and people who can jump 20 feet in the air and they don't know why, and all this kind of stuff. And she uses this as her way of getting them all into the one area and then killing them off. So as Norman kind of comes back around in this younger body, he hears about this incredible group of all these incredible people who are slowly disappearing. So he goes to try and figure out what the hell's going on. And as he finds Genevieve, he thinks that she died because she's like the first person who he ever experimented on, the first baby. And as she got away from him, he kind of just went, oh, well, I'll never see her again. She's dead. And he kind of remembers her name because obviously there's like 400 kids that he's after doing this to. So the idea is essentially, who's going to figure out who first? Is Norman going to figure out Genevieve, or is Genevieve going to figure out Norman first? Because obviously it's the same name. So when she sees it on the pad, she kind of gets a little bit freaked out. And then the 17-year-old walks in. She's like, oh, no, it's fine. He's actually properly dead. But then he starts talking about stuff that only the other Norman would find out about. And it's that's kind of it, really.
I see.
Sounds really interesting.
That's kind of what I can get into about it. There's also like 2 or 3 other people in the therapy group as well. Like the younger Norman's girlfriend has the ability to read minds, so she goes out with Norman at one point, and the voice that's in his head is a completely different voice. So she's trying to figure out what the hell's going on there, and that kind of stuff. I'm so sorry.
What inspired you to like write it? Like, what gave you the idea?
I've been writing short stories since I was like 12. I wrote a story once about the evil tooth fairy, which was apparently very interesting and imaginative, because the evil tooth fairy, the concept behind it was when you have bad teeth and they fall out, then the evil tooth fairy gets bad teeth and the good tooth fairy gets your good teeth. So there's 2 separate kingdoms, one that has this amazingly beautiful white shiny castle made of the most beautiful teeth that the actual tooth fairy lives in, and then this horrible decayed black and yellow castle that the nasty evil tooth fairy lives in, and then it's a whole war between the 2 of them.
I mean, if both sides make their castles out of your teeth, who's the baddie really? That would be my question.
But that was just one of the baddies. I am, apparently.
You are. You're definitely a baddie. You've killed so many people on this.
The Yang family.
Ah, boo.
The Yang family going around just murdering everybody. Oh, I missed that.
You missed the jump.
I gotta go back to that. Yeah, but ever since that, I've kind of been writing stories, and I wrote a story like 2 years ago that had this character in it who was essentially who Genevieve is now, and I kind of wanted to revisit the character more so than anything else. She had. Oh, excuse me, there, madam. Oh yeah, that didn't work at all.
Didn't corkscrew as much as I was hoping.
No, that's what I was hoping too.
You did lose a light though.
I did. Like the front half of the car is kind of.
If you're revisiting a character from a previous story that you've written, is this the beginning of a Scruffles cinematic universe?
It very well could be. I haven't thought that far ahead, but it very well could be, because if I think that far ahead, then I'll try to be like implanting stuff in this one that's going to crop up in like the next 2 or 3 instead of just referring back to it later on. So
well, you heard it here first, everyone.
Yeah, we want at least 5% of the profits.
Yeah, royalties.
Okay.
Thanks.
Shameless plug straight away.
Yeah.
We'll sponsor the book.
Yeah, we'll sponsor the book. We might be affiliates soon. Have you've played The Witcher, Scruffles? Witcher 3?
I'm massively into The Witcher.
So just a quick.
I have all the books. I've watched the series. I've played all the games. I've done it all.
So, as a quick aside, Clayplay says Yen or Triss.
Oh, Yen.
Brilliant.
Like it's not even a question. Like anyone who says Triss doesn't know anything about Triss, and anyone who doesn't say Yen doesn't know anything about Yen.
There you go.
There you go.
You've heard it firsthand from Scruffles.
Hashtag Team Yen.
Martin's definitely going to leave the chat now and
I think
return.
Martin already unsubscribed.
And Triss is a real because everyone goes Yen or Triss like for yourself. Like maybe you want Triss for yourself. Maybe you think Triss is more attractive. Maybe you think Triss is nicer or whatever. But it's Yen all the way. Everything about Yen is just perfect for Geralt, and she's a badass dark-haired woman who is so powerful. Like, I'm not even going to mention unicorns because
much fitter than Triss, I think.
Yeah, so much fitter, and she's so much more powerful and strong, and she's just more dominating and more imposing as a person. And why the hell would you want Triss?
If that's what you're into, I guess.
It's like, but I've already left. This is my ghost talk.
That's some good chat. Maybe it's just Martin that's wrong about everything, says NJ. We would never accuse Martin of being wrong about everything.
I mean, Kira Metz is probably better than Triss.
Oh yeah, I liked Kira.
I need to play The Witcher 3
surprised
again,
when she turned up at Kaer Morhen. I've just done the halfway point, you know. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to do spoilers, but
yeah.
The halfway battle.
Yeah, I know where you are.
Yeah.
So sorry I didn't mean to derail the talk about the book. I just wanted to address that question before we.
No, that's totally fine.
But
because I will say, and I will interject and say that if we're going to do Yen or Triss, you also have to do Lambert or Eskel.
Yeah, you've lost me now.
I can't remember which one's which, but I hate the really horrible guy. The guy that's a dick. You know which one.
Lambert is the guy who's in all the dark clothes.
The one that doesn't have all the scars over his face. The other one.
Eskel has the scars.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Lambert. Don't like him.
Yeah, Eskel's much better than Lambert. Sorry, that's the pansexual in me talking. You got to be across all peoples. If you're going to be
peoples.
If you're going to be talking about attractive women, you got to talk about the attractive men as well.
Sure.
I mean, Geralt.
Yeah,
I mean,
anyone else?
Geralt himself.
Geralt is god tier, but like you got to look at the other.
Geralt is god tier.
Geralt is god tier.
Geralt is god tier. Like, I do also want to say, I am going to be playing. I am going to be playing Mass Effect from the start soon.
Oh yeah.
So I will say, if anyone has any issues with romance options, please get them out of the way before you come into my stream, because I might make some questionable decisions when it comes to romance options.
Have you played Mass Effect before or no?
Yeah, massively.
Yeah. So who would you? Oh, Mike, you should have done the Mass Effect Snog Mario Void. Too late.
Sorry, too late. I haven't got it queued up.
Mike did a little game for me in my episode, and he gave me all the companions.
Oh yeah.
And it was Snog Mario Void.
It's like 20 something, isn't there?
I was only from Mass Effect 2, and I deliberately left a couple out because there was one that Gab didn't know that well because it was from DLC. And then
from Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, and then there was two characters that were basically the same, and so it was difficult to choose just one of them. So I just chose neither. But it left.
Oh yeah, Samara's daughter.
Samara and Morinth. Is it Morinth?
Morinth.
Yeah. I left those two out because how do you pick one? And if you pick both, you've just got duplicate. Essentially, you've got a duplicate.
Well, like if you go all the way with Morin, she kills you. So
yeah, she kills you immediately, doesn't she? So I mean, it's not really worth considering her for anything.
No.
I
mean, she wouldn't be quite a snog, or she wouldn't be quite unmarried.
So yeah, but that was fun. Well, we can do that for next time. We just add more and more games to the Mike and Gabby show until it's just all games.
Oh my god!
I was just gonna say, who do you normally romance? If you said you have questionable tastes, I need to know.
Mass Effect 1, it's Caden.
Oh yeah, I love Caden. Very underrated.
Well, first of all, Scruffles, do you choose man shep or fem shep as your character?
I'm man shep.
Yeah. Okay.
I've played through a couple of fem sheps. Oh my god, why is this so bad?
I've done both, but I normally play fem shep because I just think it's more badass that the woman saves the world.
Agreed.
No.
I much more enjoyed fem shep mainly because I prefer Jennifer Hale as a voice actor.
She feels like she's the canon. Do you know what I mean? Like it feels like she makes sense to the story more than he does. I don't know why. But yeah, carry on.
It's a very strange kind of dichotomy that goes on because Shepard looks in all the promotional images like male Shepard, but female Shepard has the voice of Shepard. So in my head, it's male Shepard with female voice. It's just very weird.
Yeah.
But no, I go full customization on male Shepard.
Do you give him a badass beard?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's badass. BioWare will allow you because beards in video games are not as good as they should be.
I think.
For Mass Effect 1, it's Caden. For Mass Effect 2, it's Miranda. For the same reasons. For the same reasons that it's Yen over Triss. To be fair. I mean,
hello.
It's just. Ooh, God. And then Mass Effect 3, I've kind of gone through everybody.
Just get through them all.
Not that means words, but I kind of.
Who's next?
I haven't romanced Miranda, but I prefer Jack to Miranda. I think Jack's just more interesting as a character.
Jack's much more interesting as a character. I'd see, because I was in the middle of romancing Miranda first, because the first game that I played was Mass Effect 2.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, romance options. Oh yeah, I could totally do that. And then I didn't have enough to romance anyone else. So I was like, may as well just stick with Miranda, so.
Yeah. Might as well have her. Can't have anyone else.
I'll take her.
But her story and her mission, her loyalty mission. Yeah, is fantastic.
Yeah.
And you can really see the other side of her in the whoa.
I like Miranda. I think like her story is very sad, but it does get on my nerves a bit.
Oh my goodness. Are you just killed by fireworks there?
No, I think they're landmines in the nighttime.
Steve's put, this entire stream has been a big FU to Gabby's choices in life.
Well, see, now I'm not really too sure about dedicating my Mass Effect 2 playthrough to Gabby. It's just going to disappoint you the entire time.
No.
Scruffles, are you going to do a full Renegade playthrough, or are you going to just play it as you wish?
No, full Renegade.
You're going full Renegade. Okay, I was going to do that when the remastered version comes out. I've never played all the way through Mass Effect 1 because I played the second one first, and then the third one, and then the first one, and the first one's horrible by comparison.
Clint Mansell's soundtrack in the third one is absolutely incredible. It's probably the shining glory of Mass Effect 3. But what was I gonna say? Oops. Kind of lost the run of that one there. There's some Renegade options that you're kind of like, even as a bad person, you still wouldn't do stuff like that.
This is my issue with the Renegade.
I'm going to do full Renegade, no questions asked.
So, like,
I'm excited for it.
When it gets to, like, Genophage stuff, I don't know. There's some tough decisions in that game.
But if you just commit to being Renegade, then they're not decisions.
That's true.
You're not making decisions
already made.
Mike,
I'm going to do
it. Disconnect.
I'm just doing it. Well, the thing is that I've played through Mass Effect, certainly the second one, so many times, and I've always wondered what it would be like if the Renegade bar was maxed, because there's always at least one choice in the game I can't get to because I haven't max Renegaded all the way through. Which also means avoiding Paragon options. It's both. You have to both choose Renegade and avoid Paragon. Just got slapped by a log. So I've got a question for you, Scruffles, just to move it on a little bit, just to change the subject a little bit, but to keep it in your areas of expertise. A question that we asked Zion that always has interesting answers was, if you could change the ending to a movie or a TV series, what would you change and why?
I really love this question.
Because I'm such a massive media lover, I have to break it up into genres. I would change the end of Parks and Recreation.
Right.
This is going to be one that's kind of out of left field, but I changed the ending of Gilmore Girls.
I've not seen it. Yeah, I've not seen it either.
It's totally fine. If people are in the chat know what I'm talking about, you would change the ending of Gilmore Girls.
Talk us through it. If anyone doesn't want spoilers.
Essentially, does anyone have any issues? Expand on PNR. The ending of Parks and Recreation is as much fan service as you can possibly get. And the only reason that I would change it is because there's very, very, very little chance of actually revisiting anything unless it's set in the future. Because at the end of Parks and Recreation, you jump forward a few years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's seeing like where all the characters are in those few years and what they've done and what they've accomplished and blah, blah, blah. So their stories are ended. That's it. Over. Unless you're going into like 10, 15 years later, you have to do a massive time jump before you can actually go back into that in a storytelling kind of vein. So I think that because it's rounded off, I wouldn't have done something like that, because it's such a beloved show that not everyone is happy about
it being done.
Oh, so you're saying you would have left it open-ended rather than giving it a definitive finish.
Yeah, because, and the same with Gilmore Girls, when they did the return to it on Netflix a while ago, it came to an end that the writer wanted to do originally, but it didn't make sense. And how you got to it, because the show went a little bit longer than it should have, there was a whole load of, well, this is where it starts, this is where it ends, but we have to fill in 4 more seasons, so we have to go all around this way and then get to this ending, and it didn't make sense. It's very strange. But
similar to the way that you're driving this 4x4, this little quad bike.
I took both hands off the wheel, so I'm surprised I'm still alive, to be honest.
Yeah, I think a lot of shows went on too long as well, and I think there's a good argument for a few shows that they should have just been ended.
Yeah,
a season early.
And Game of Thrones as well is one of the biggest ones, but that's one that
Charlie rants about that, so she'll pop up in a second. Agree with you.
Yeah, you can't talk about
I haven't seen the end.
It was such a rush job at the end, and so many things got changed, and they set up for.
Oh, that was amazing. Is the driver still alive? You can keep going. Oh.
No, the car was gone. Unless he was able to walk. I'll do it again. See what happens.
Whoa.
That's a definite half.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they just rushed so much at the end. And they set up so many things that had they... What's happened there?
You drove over the mines.
Oh, there's mines. I didn't see them. I thought they were... I didn't know what they were.
Those things are mines, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Should I be going? Oh. Oh no, I gotta keep going. Excuse me. Movies, I'm not too sure of, because I'm kind of. All right, that makes sense. I'm kind of a mind that the majority of movies kind of end the way they should end. It's things that are set up for sequels that I just hate. Oh, forgot about that. Oops. Oh, I could have kept going. Damn it. See, because I'm very much of a... If that's the way the writer wanted it to be and that's the way the director wanted it to be, well, that's the way it should be. There's not many things that I would go, I would do this differently so much that I would absolutely change it. Like, I've had a couple of ideas for other things that could probably go better, but my ideas probably aren't great. Shit.
So do you said you don't like it when films are set up for sequels.
Yeah.
Do you mean that all? I mean, this is maybe taking it a bit too literally, but does that mean that you think all films should just be standalone films?
No, not at all. If a film has like a natural end, all films should come to a natural end. But anything that's like this is the issue that I kind of have with Star Wars, like the newer Star Wars. There's so much of an end that it just seems more like a mini series than it does an actual movie. And so the whole point of, or the concept of a movie is you have an hour and a half to watch this thing, and this is the story that takes out, or that goes on for an hour and a half or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you're setting up for something else, like James Cameron is doing Avatar 2, but he's also doing Avatar 3. So you know that whatever happens at the end of Avatar 2 is not the end.
Right.
You know?
But
so
is that more because...
Yeah, I get that when especially with things like superhero movies.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh no, the hero's going to die. Well, they're not going to die because
because there's another movie.
Like Avengers is set after that, so they can't die in this one because then they would be... Yeah, I know what you mean.
So like
in that way.
Exactly, at the end of the Marvel movies, it's like Thor will return, Iron Man will return. Like, don't fucking tell me that. But like,
yeah.
Just because
yeah, I guess so.
Like you know he's going to return. You don't have to say it at the end, but the only reason you're saying it at the end is that you're already pre-hyped for the thing.
For the next one. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, you like Thor.
But what happens when you've got a lot of background material and a lot of lore and a lot of, a lot to work with, and you're trying to tell that whole story, but there's no way you can do it in an hour and a half or even 3 hours. I mean,
so like Lord of the Rings kind of thing.
Well, or like all the comic book. I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate here because I actually generally tend to agree with you, to be honest.
If you're talking comic book movies, comic books have been around since like the 10s and 20s, since like the 1920s.
Exactly, yeah. So there's so much behind them.
Yeah.
How do you put the story of Batman into 2 hours? It's impossible.
Exactly, because which Batman are you talking about?
Well, exactly, yeah.
Are you talking about Bruce Wayne Batman? Are you talking about Damian Wayne Batman? Are you talking about Mike Paul Fox Batman?
Exactly. I mean, which one are we talking about here, James Cameron? Can you let me know? I'm due on set in a week, and I don't know.
Send me an email. Do something.
Exactly. Come on, Jimmy.
But it's a really weird kind of... The movie should start... Like, my favorite director is Wes Anderson. In a very pretentious kind of way that he is old school filmmaking. And the story is the story, and like, he'll utilize the same actors, he'll utilize same character elements, or character traits. Jesus, sorry there,
wife. Yeah.
Wife went flying.
Just widower in like 2 seconds. Because he goes and does a film start to finish, there can be callbacks to other films that he's done or other characters that he's utilized, but they're standalone things, which is kind of what I wanted to achieve with the book that I'm writing. Because I want to revisit the character, I want to put her in a different world. I don't want to extend the world that I had before, because me as a writer before, I was shit. And to be fair, right now I'm probably not that great either. But I want to put the character I want to develop her as a character and see the stories that form around her, as opposed to
the front of your car. Sorry. I had no idea that damage had been done.
This damage?
If there's no engine left, how are you moving? Oh, well, you're not anymore. It's all over.
It's just, there were so many of them, I had to do that once. But yeah, whatever I was saying, it's something. Kind of forgot everything I was saying.
No, it's fine. It's an interesting point. It's an interesting opinion as well. I was curious.
It's always been something that, like, a story has a start, middle, and end. A sequel picks up from the end. So a sequel shouldn't be the continuation of a story, or else it's the same story. You know?
Yeah. So you're saying that if you're doing one film, just to do a sequel, that you should try and do it all in the first film.
Yeah, or get as much of it out as you possibly can. Like the Lord of the Rings, if you watch them from start to finish, like the theatrical releases, there's about 4 or 5 hours of footage that didn't get into the stuff because of the theatrical releases.
Much, yeah.
Yeah, like that's an insane amount, but that's the story that Peter Jackson wanted to tell, and then the studios went, well, you got to split it up into films, and then he went, oh, okay then, well, I'll do it like that then, because like otherwise you're going to be in the cinema for like 12 hours.
Yeah.
Which isn't great nowadays, but I would kind of prefer that, because like that'd be a whole.
Similar to. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, go on. You go on.
I think it's similar to the Hunger Games, because they do this a lot. They split books, the last book, into 2 films, and then so the third Hunger Games film is all setting up for the last one. So it's pretty boring. It's just like all the conversations that you need to see to understand the end.
Exactly.
And then the last film is just entirely action and no context. And I'm like.
And like that's what they've done with the Avengers films, and that's why the Avengers films are not as great as everyone makes them out to be. Is because the first like half an hour is bringing all the characters together and being like, well, Thor's off on his fucking world right now, so he has to be brought back to Earth, but there has to be a reason for him to come back to Earth, and it's just a whole load of flimsy storytelling that is just kind of like, it doesn't actually matter. You may as well just start with everybody on Earth and then just go, oh yeah, I got off a train there last week.
I thought
Thor came in on the the train,
just on the train from Manchester. I thought that splitting the final 2 Harry Potter films into 2 was just. I mean, I've not seen them, but to me, it just reeked of money. It didn't seem like it was necessary at all. It was just intentionally dragged out. I felt like
it's just a better way to do it, because I mean the last book is the longest, right? And I feel like I mean with most series the last part is always, there's a lot to build up before you have like the climax, right? The big battle or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't split it into 2 films where the first 2 hours is just us listening to people talk, and then the second 2 hours is just a massive battle sequence.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think was it Breaking Dawn Part 1 that was like.
Oh, don't even talk to me about that.
Uh-oh. Gab's fingers hovering over Rage Quit again.
Well, the last.
If you went to the cinema to watch Breaking Dawn Part 1.
2 was the one that shook me.
But like, if you watch the first part,
it's
like
boring.
You know that's not going to be the end of it.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, I wonder what part they're going to stop at, and then they stop before your favorite part, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll just wait another 7 months until Part 2 comes out, and you're like, but it's already done.
2 came out, and they told too much in 1 that they put an entire battle sequence that never happened in the book, right? So they kill off the main character. I remember sitting there in Part 2, 16-year-old me, however old I was, like. Oh, they've killed Cullen, they've killed Jasper, I can't remember who died. And then, Mike, you'll love it, she's like, it was all a dream.
Oh,
this is what could happen if you don't... Because
That's
I don't
right.
know if you know anything about Twilight, Mike, but one of the characters can basically see into the future, but obviously it's subjective because people can change their minds. So she basically shows this massive battle sequence, but as the audience, you don't know she's showing it from her mind. So you think this battle has just gone on and like half the cast have just died. And then it shoots back to her and she's like, if you make the wrong decision, this is what's going to happen. It's like... And they obviously had to fill out like half an hour. They were like, we can't bring out a half an hour film. We need half an hour of content.
Yeah, anything that ends with, and it was all a dream, or, you know, and it turned out it was a big simulation, or we were in virtual reality, all of those endings can just get in the bin. Unless it's a really good reason for it. All of that, for me, can get in the bin.
Did I miss something?
Oh, we must have missed one. So let's start like moving in the direction of wrapping up because we're on 2.5 hours again, and I love it.
Think of me.
I love it.
Think of me downloading these episodes.
I could honestly do these all day and all night. But we probably ought to start thinking about wrapping up. So I wanted you to talk about Tenor Tuesdays, Scruffles, because I know it's something that you've been doing for quite a while, and it's a really cool idea. So I wanted you to tell everybody about Tenor Tuesdays for those that might not know.
Tenor Tuesday started out when I was doing reviews for the website that I write for, and they started out as Fiver Fridays. Am I alive?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
All right, fair enough. And I kind of realized that a fiver kind of isn't a lot. Like, it sounds great to like get a video game for a fiver, but when it comes to indie developers and stuff, you kind of got to push it up a little bit more because a lot of people put a lot of work into stuff. So Tenor Tuesdays kind of worked out a little bit better than Fiver Fridays. And essentially what I do is I do what I usually do in going on Steam, going on any kind of marketplace or whatever, buying a game that looks interesting to me. I've had some developers who have said, play my game. And I have played a couple of the ones that I've seen that I've actually enjoyed and that have done, like, got through the smile test. No! But the idea essentially is to show off as many games that are under a tenner as possible, because even though no one really has much to be spending their money on these days because we're not allowed to go out, the whole point is to try and show you that there's so much that you can get with so little. So Tenor Tuesdays kind of incorporates every game that's under a tenner that you can get for cheap. It'll be new release indie games, it'll be retro games, it'll be
probably this mess.
Probably this mess. I can't remember. Actually, I think it's like €13 or something. But like the size of it, we've been playing it for so long.
Yeah, it's huge. It's a huge game.
It's quite a big game, and like all the different characters as well. Oh,
this poor family. They're just trying to get out of the car park.
Poor Yang family. Yeah, poor family.
This is what it's like. This is what it's like getting out of a shopping centre when you're doing your Christmas shopping in December, isn't it?
Yeah, the bull ring. Trying to get out of the bull ring. This
or Cribs Causeway.
What is this called again, Scruffles? I've forgotten the name of it.
It's Guts and Glory.
Oh, Guts or Glory. Guts or Glory.
Guts and Glory.
Oh, Guts. Sorry, Katie. It's Guts and Glory. It's hilariously good fun to watch, I have to say.
What?
Over there. Oh, you have to go around the right, do you?
I don't know.
There was a little gap on the right, I think, that was probably big enough to get through. Oh, smash!
It's because it's a. Oh, it's just start here. That's fine.
So what's the game of Tenor Tuesdays that you've enjoyed the most? Because I tend to buy a lot of my games when they're around a tenner. I don't tend to shell out for anything really, to be honest. Yeah. So there's an awful lot of value in £10. So what's been your favourite one?
God. I'm not sure. There's been so many. Like we played The Hobbit last Tuesday.
Yeah, I was there for the beginning of that.
And like that was abandonware. That's free, which is so much better. But I think the most enjoyable stream that I had was all the free horror games that I did, and showcased a load of beginnings to horror games and stuff. Okay. But there's no real. I can't pick a favorite game that's under a tenner because it's a subjective medium, and tricky. No matter how much fun that I had playing that game at that time, it's still just a fun game, and then the experience is over. But there's not many games. There's genuinely not many games that I would have actually gone back to, which is interesting. Which is something that I've kind of found with the Fiver Fridays when I used to play the games for a fiver. That once I was finished with them, I was like, oh yeah, no, that's fine. That's done. That's done now. I finished that. That was a good experience.
So you do play them through? You don't just play it like for one stream? Oh, yeah. You play the story, the game through to the end?
It depends, really. Because the tenor games generally are only like about an hour or two anyway. But yeah, I have like 5 hours set out on a Tuesday for a longer game, something like The Hobbit or something that's abandonware, something that's retro that takes a long time to play. Oh, gee, it's got all Fall Guysy.
Oh, stop!
Can't wait to hit that loop though. That loop's gonna be good if I make it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we're all here for this.
Oh my god!
God.
Very disorientating.
Yeah, but there's nothing.
Well, that's
There's
all right.
there's
Yeah,
actually-
I wondered if one
There's
had.
not many that I go back to, but there's a lot of the games that I showed on like the game previews. That came from behind. Whoops. That I definitely be going back to. But there's more games that I'm excited to play everything that I play. But like my favorite games, just they're not everyone else's favorite games. So.
Yeah, it was only if one stood out, because sometimes they really can,
No,
especially with
there
indies.
really hasn't. And like it's a strange thing to say because I absolutely love and adore the games, but I don't think I'd go back to the majority of them.
Well,
It's an
Revelations.
experience that it's an experience that'll stay with me, if you know what I mean.
yes.
It's something that I'll be able to go, oh, I'll refer back to this if for a similar game, or I like the way they did that there, because there's so many games, especially that I've gone through for a Tenor Tuesday, that have great concepts and great ideas, but are only about like 60% of the way there because they had to get something out.
Yeah,
Which
agreed.
is very interesting. But if you put it in a larger scale, then it would appeal to more people. But I can see the merit in just about everything that I play, which is kind of why I do critiques and stuff. I don't know why I said critiques like that. But...
Do you do critiques just on your stream, or do you have like a website or something?
No,
that
I
people are
do.
interested?
I write for Geek Ireland. I haven't done too many. Like I've reviewed FIFA and UFC and all manner of indie games and AAA games on that. But it's generally I do kind of a summon up at the end of the Tenor Tuesdays, and that's kind of how it works.
Oh, that's really cool.
There
Well,
you go then. So if anyone needs advice on what to spend their £10 on,
yeah.
check out Scruffles on a Tuesday.
I do have a list. I do have a list of the games that I played, but I just can't see it right now.
Yeah, we should pop
Yeah.
a link in. Well, I think we'll open the questions up to the chat. If anybody has anything that we haven't
We'll
asked,
go
or
ahead.
if anybody wants to ask any questions of Scruffles before we go. Otherwise,
And
I think it's
whilst
probably
we
time
wait-
to start thinking about calling it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, is there anything upcoming that you wanted to talk about that you'll be doing whilst we wait for
Oh, yeah.
any questions?
Not really. Like in the same kind of vein as yourself, Mike, that I remember you talking about in the last one. I want to do charity stuff.
Yes.
I'm desperate to do charity stuff. I want to give back to whoever I possibly can in as many ways as I possibly can. Oh, stop dying! But I haven't got around to actually figuring out what will be good and what will be able to maximize the. Apparently, he's just always gonna die, and maximize that. But yeah, no. After this, I've been going through streams based off the suggestions from my favorite streamers, of which you two are two. So
Thanks, mate.
that's upcoming. We still have to do Football Manager with Mike, and then as I've
that's
said,
gonna be
a couple
fun.
times, I'm going to be doing Mass Effect in honor of Gabby, which
Couldn't
I'm
think of
very
any
much
better
looking forward
game
to.
Perfect.
There's no better game. There's no better game.
To represent me.
So we've got a couple of favourites. Favourite film genre?
Favorite film genre? That's sci-fi.
Sci-fi.
It's
Makes
always
sense.
sci-fi.
I'm there
Yeah.
with you.
It's 100%. Like if I can pick out so many more favorite films from a sci-fi genre than I can from any other genre.
Yeah.
I like stupid kind of stoner comedy
Yeah, so do I.
to just turn your brain off to, that kind of stuff. But if I think of anything from like Blade Runner, Equilibrium,
Oh, Equilibrium, what a
fantastic,
film.
just
Mm.
absolute fantastic science fiction films. Which is very interesting because my favorite director is Wes Anderson, who definitely doesn't do science fiction. But it's definitely science fiction.
Yeah, it makes sense based on what you said, what you were talking about earlier as well. I would have imagined it was. Favorite game, says Greenwood.
Favorite game? It's between The Witcher 3 and Mass Effect 2.
Strong choices.
That's
Straight out of the
I mean-
Uncle
Witcher
Gabby's
3
back
is
catalogue.
amazing. I mean, that's literally the two games I'm playing at the moment on stream.
Sorry, just got splattered. He's still going. Oh no, not anymore.
I'm still alive. I'd say Mass Effect 2 over The Witcher 3 because The Witcher 3 is so much longer and it takes so much more to actually get the impact that it tries to get out of it. But Mass Effect 2, the impact is just in every mission. There's not many parts of Mass Effect 2 that I'll go, oh, I have to get through this part now.
Yeah.
I think it's so heroic. That's the thing I love about Mass Effect 2. You feel like a hero. And I think that's the only thing about Witcher. I mean, I love Geralt as a character. I think he's really interesting, and I love The Witcher 3, but like it's not personal, right? You can't customize Geralt.
No. He is who he is already.
Yeah. I mean, there's different romance options, but it's not the same. And you don't. I mean, well, I say you don't save the galaxy. I don't know because I haven't finished The Witcher 3 yet, but Mass Effect 2, that last mission, which I always don't give too much details about because there's some people who haven't played Mass Effect 2 and I'm doing the playthrough on my channel, but when everyone sees that last mission, I don't think there's a better ending to any game that I've ever played.
Yeah,
I shed so many tears.
Yeah, me too. My first playthrough was brutal. Fizzy says... Oh, sorry, go on. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I've cried at, I'd say, 3 video games. Mass Effect 2, The Last of Us 1.
Oh, yeah.
And I will be honest, I cried at Bloodborne, but that was because...
Out of joy.
Yeah, joy. Well,
I was genuinely so happy to finish it. When I finished my last stream, I actually just shed a bit of a tear and went, "Oh my god, it's done!
It's over."
That was me with Alien. I went, "Oh my god, it's over!"
Well, that leads
scary films.
That leads delightfully into Fizzy's question, which was who's favorite boss from Bloodborne?
Favorite boss? So hard because there's so many different favorites for so many different reasons. Oh my god, I might actually be able to do it this time. Oh, never mind.
Right on cue. Bosh.
Fucking hell. I'd have to say the Orphan of Kos, which is the final boss in the DLC. He was my absolute favorite because he was one of the hardest, but also he wasn't actually difficult. It was more the visceral nature of every attack that he did and the sense of overwhelming joy when I finally killed him was just... I honestly was so speechless that I did it. I was just sitting there on the stream just going...
That's correct. That's awesome. Such a great thing that games can give you. Like, you know, a lot of people think video games are just something that you use to waste your time, but you can get such visceral feelings from video games. It's incredible. And yeah, Fizzy agrees with you. Says it's my favourite too. Such Absolutely, a challenge. The music is so beautifully depressing and ties in well with the boss and its origins.
Yeah, everything about that fight, from the walk up to the actual boss stage, to the music, to the attacks, to the sounds, to like every time he attacks, there's a sound that is just this unnatural, visceral crunching noise that is just absolutely fantastic. That you're so sucked into the whole moment that every attack you get on him feels like you just want it to be the absolute killer attack, and it just never is until the absolute last one, which is what makes the game so good. That's not the way you should finish.
And then finally, Starbury says favorite chip, which I think you means crisp, which we definitely dealt with that.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's two
favorite
actually.
Chocolate bar.
Favorite chocolate bar, Scruffles.
Chocolate bar. The blue M&M's chocolate bar.
Oh yeah,
has the Crispies in it. Yeah.
I can't have them anymore, but yeah.
Interesting. That's a good. That is a
Absolutely.
left field choice. I would say
underrated.
Yeah,
M&M.
that is an unexpected
Absolutely.
choice.
I like a bit of crunch in my chocolate, you know.
I got really passionate about that then.
You did.
Oh yeah, the crispy one.
It's what we're all
Just
about.
end it there.
It's
Just
what we're all
end the
about.
stream there.
It's a great choice.
The crispy one. The end.
It's a great choice. And CM Ted finally says, if you had to choose between Star Wars and Star Trek, be very careful.
Star
This
Wars.
is a loaded question.
It's Star Wars over Star Trek.
There you go, everybody.
Oh,
Confirm.
there goes the kids.
There go the kids. But we keep driving.
It's only recently been Star Wars over Star Trek, but Star Wars over Star Trek. And only because we're talking absolute, like, all universes. The Star Wars TV shows have been so much better than Star Trek TV shows. The Mandalorian is better than Discovery in my opinion.
Speaking of, that's exactly what I'm gonna go watch.
Yeah. So we'll watch you. Oh, I was gonna say we'll watch you finish this. I want you to go through that second loop the loop.
Second loop the loop. Okay.
And then we'll start.
3 hours later.
That's gonna be the thing we finish on. I want to see it.
believe.
What's this family called?
The Yang family.
The Yang family, right?
Oh, here we go.
Yes. Oh!
He's alive!
He's still alive! He's still alive! Don't worry about the others.
Would you like to end on a chaotic
wanted you to carry
note?
on.
The kid's still in the car.
Oh, go faster! Go faster!
Oh
no! Oh, the noise! Oh.
Well, I mean that feels like the perfect closing